to Senator Gordon. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Please raise your thumbs up if you can see me or hear me. Thank you. Is the Secretary General there? I can see Senator Marcos. Good morning, Senator Marcos. The ever,
I'm here, sir.
ever hardworking Senator Marcos. Thank you. Who else are here from the Senate? I can see Senator Marcos. Thank you, Amy.
Mr. Senator, Senator Bongo, and Senator Marcos are present.
Senator Bongo and Senator Marcos. Thank you. And who else? Is that it? So we have a quorum.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry, I just arrived from Olongapo from the funeral of my brother yesterday, and I'm a bit disheveled. Would you like to administer the oath of office right away, please?
Your Honor, with your permission, may I first recognize those who are here.
We have enough senators, so don't administer the oath of office. Just the oath.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. For those who are here, we can see you on the screens anyway. Kindly raise your right hand. For those who are here for the first time and who have not had their oaths administered, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
I do.
Your Honor, please.
All right, just for the record, I would like those who have not taken their oath, one by one, to state your name. Go ahead. First one, I think
Your Honor. Mr. Chairman.
yes, we really appreciate it. Yes.
It might be better if I just read the names of those who are here and they just indicate whether they've already taken their oaths, had their oaths administered or not.
I just want to make sure that the record is accurate. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Proceed, please.
From the Department of Transportation, Assistant Secretary Stephen Pastor.
Could you raise your hand, please?
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, I've already taken my oath during the last week.
This is just for the record. Just want to make sure that you have read.
Yeah. Attorney Rainier Paul Yebra, Under Secretary for Legal Affairs.
Good morning po, Mr. Chair, President.
Good morning, sir. Welcome back. Good morning.
Attorney Andrea Nicole P. Rivera, Office of the Undersecretary for Legal Affairs.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. You've already taken your oath the last time, right, Andrea?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
From the Department of Trade and Industry, Mr. Secretary Ramon M. Lopez.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning po sa lahat. I've taken my oath just earlier. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Secretary. I apologize for calling you Manny. I have a classmate named Manny Lopez. Force of habit. Thank you, but you're a lot better than him.
Thank you.
This is Undersecretary Ruth Castelo.
Ruth?
Hi, good morning, Mr. Chair. I have also taken my oath earlier during the hearing.
And you're with the DOTR as well, right?
From the DTI, Mr. Chair.
DTI. Wonderful.
Yes, sir.
DTI has become very efficient under Secretary Lopez's leadership. Go ahead.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair, from the DTI, ASEC, Assistant Secretary Anne-Claire Cabotsan.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning. Good morning. You related to Justice Kabuchan?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. She's a very learned jurist. Go ahead.
She has taken her oath, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Mark Maat, Chief DTI Liaison Office.
Mike, where are
Mr.
you?
Maat.
Mark, are you there? Can you raise your hand, please, so I can see you?
Mark Maat.
Mark Maat, are you there, please? Please sound off. Just say I'm here or
Wala pa yata.
wala pa.
He probably stepped out, Mr. Chair. I'll read the next one. From the Commission on Audit, a representative of the chairperson, Mr. Michael Aguinaldo, is Attorney Ridgway Marabe.
Ridgway, are you there, please?
Attorney Ridgway Marabe.
Can you raise your hand so I can recognize you? Mr. Ridgway, can you raise your hand, please?
There he is, sir. You have taken your oath a while ago.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Attorney Daniel Rusaupan.
Attorney Tan. Ko, is it Ko also?
Attorney Rusaupan.
Yes, sir. Third chair.
From COA.
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't see her. Can you raise your hand, please? It's really very difficult and cumbersome. Kindly raise your hand if you're there.
Yes.
There. I see him now, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
May I request the resource person set aside from raising your hand kindly speak to the mic so that we'll immediately know whether you're here or not. From the Land Transportation Office, Mr. Chair, Assistant Secretary Edgar Galvante.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've taken my oath already.
Yes, I know. Thank you very much, General, for coming back. Thank you.
Attorney Romeo Vera Cruz, Executive Director, Mr. Chair.
Good
Mr.
morning,
Van
Mr. Chair. I have already taken my oath.
Thank you, sir.
Attorney Mercy Jane Paras Lanes, Chief Operations Division.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I have already taken my oath last time.
Yes, thank you, Marcy. Okay.
From the Philippine National Police, Police General Debold Sinas Wasirwal, Chief PNP.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I have already taken my oath earlier.
General, General,
Yes,
General
sir.
Sinas.
Yes, sir.
thank you, General Sinas. I know you're very busy, but thank you. This is a really important matter. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Police Brigadier General Alexander Tagum,
Yes.
Chief Highway Patrol Group.
Yes, thank you very much, General Tagu.
From the Bureau of Internal Revenue, Mr. Chair, Attorney Roy Sean Tancinco, Law and Legislative Division.
Mr. Tancinco, can you see him, Director General? Mr. Tancinco, are you there? Okay,
He's there, sir. Mr. Chair, I can see him now.
Yeah, I can see you now. Thank you. And you've taken your oath just now? This time. Oh, okay.
Mr. Chair, also Mr. Somera of the BIR.
Mr. Sumera, can you please say I'm here, present or something? Mr. Sumera. Mr. Sumera.
Mr. Chair, I'll call the next one while we wait for him to.
Can you write down the people who are absent? Go ahead.
Mr. Chair. Motorcycle dealers, we have Carl Ryan Lim, President and Chief Executive Officer, Do Exam Incorporated.
Do exam.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have just taken a while ago.
Here.
Can you raise your hand so I can see you? Okay. All right.
Here he is there, sir. You've
Uh,
taken your oath a while ago, Mr. Do Exam.
are we taking your oath?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
The record
Doctor-
he has said that he has taken his oath.
Yes, Your Honor. Dr. Silvestre A. Lumapas Jr., President and Chairman, Best Strong Motors Incorporated.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I've taken my oath a while ago.
Okay.
Mr. Marvin Ken Du, Chairman of the Board, Des Marketing Incorporated.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I took my oath earlier as well.
Can you I cannot see you. Can you raise your hand, please?
Here. Here, sir.
Thank you.
Janine Du, President, Deskmark Corporation.
Good morning, Mr.
There she is,
Chair.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, I took my oath already.
She has taken her oath.
I have not seen it. Can you raise your hand again, please, so I can see you?
Here, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Maricris Lopez, Vice President, Sales and Marketing, Premio Corporation.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I am here. I'm here.
And you have your
Yeah,
oath.
I took my oath earlier as well.
Paulino Ongtenco, President, Motor Trade Nationwide Corporation. Motor Trade. Mr. Paulino Ongtenco.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I took my oath already.
There he is, Mr. Chair.
I can't understand you. Excuse me. Can you repeat it again, please? Okay, ulit
Good
lang.
morning.
I can't understand you. Can you repeat it again, please? All right, we'll mark him absent if he doesn't.
Mr. Chair, one more. Mr. Celso Namoro, Executive Vice President, Motor Trade Nationwide Corporation. Mr. Namoro.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
It would be appreciated if you raise your hand because there are so many of you. I have to see you. It's a very inconvenient way of running a meeting, but it's the best way we can do under the circumstances. Mr. Namoro, can you raise your hand, please? Namoro.
Namoro, Mr. Namoro, Mr. Chair.
Namoro? Mr. Namoro, are you there?
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chair. I took my oath earlier.
Can you raise your hand so I can see you at least?
I'm here now, Your Honor.
Can you see him?
Video, Mr. Chair.
Huh? Can you turn on your video, Mr. Namoro? Your video is off. Mr. Namoro, your video is off.
Good morning, Your Honor.
There.
Taken my oath earlier.
Yes, but you did not push the button, so you're costing us time. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, those are the persons who are present so far. There are others who are not here yet, and they may yet be arriving in a while.
What about those who are relatives of riding in town, the victims? Are they there?
They were invited, but they have not arrived yet, Mr. Chair. They're not marked present yet.
They're not supposed to arrive. They're supposed to show up in the video screen.
I mean, yes, sir. They're not currently here in the screens right now, but they have been invited. 3 of them.
Can somebody call them, please?
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Amy. It's not the microphone.
Yes, thank you very much. I would just like to follow up on my previous request for the COA audit report on LTO and inquire why it has not yet been finalized and why it has not been submitted, because I am not yet in receipt, and the reasons, of course, for the delay of such report on the LTO. And further to that, my questions also would be for ASEC Galvante and RD Kaindek, given the media that has surrounded the operations and their explanation for the same when it is warranted. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
With all due respect, the COA has been called, and Director General, is there any report from COA?
Your Honor, indeed, we have sent invitations to COA and we have sent letters immediately after the meeting as to the requested documents.
Ilocos Norte is asking for documents.
We have written them and asked for the documents requested by Madam Senator Marcos, but they have not yet replied. We're still following up with them, Mr. Chair.
What is the answer of COA? People there were there?
One has arrived, Mr. Chair, if I'm...
Oh, okay.
Good morning
I have-
po.
Attorney Marabe, Mr. Chair.
I need a copy as well. And the point of Senator Marcos is very well taken, that we should have copies of what COA has to say about these folks. All right?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Now, as insofar as I'm not aware that I know you asked, maybe I missed it last time. Did you want Mr. Kaindek of Region 7 to be here?
I think he was requested to attend. I'm not certain.
No,
But,
no. No, we have not, because I'm not going to ask him.
Oh, okay. In that case, boss, si Asik Galvante.
Okay. Secretary Galvante, you're aware of the request of Senator Marcos. Do you have a reply, sir?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. May I ask for clarification what this...
I'm sorry, to clarify, I had submitted an inquiry regarding the case filed against Director Kaindek. What have you done to address the issue? Because the presidential spokesman, Harry Roque himself, indicated last year that your RD of LTO was under investigation for corruption. And there was a very clear-cut indictment in the statement of Secretary Roque. And I was wondering if the LTO had finally taken action, given that it was last year pa.
Well, go ahead, Secretary Galvante.
Mr. Chairman, yes, Your Honor. Usually, Your Honor, we ask for the explanation, but I was informed that a team headed by I think Attorney BALITA went to Region 7 to investigate the issue, Your Honor. But as of now, the LTO has not been informed, particularly myself, has not been informed of the result of the investigation conducted, Your Honor.
Asik, nagkakaturuan po kasi ang sinabi naman, dapat yung LTO mag-internal investigation. This has been pending since September, and it was the palace itself that pointed the finger specifically at RD Victor Kaindek. Kaya nagtataka kami, bakit walang kalalabsan? Inaasahan ninyo yung kay Attorney Bellica, pero hindi ba dapat yung LTO din mag-imbestiga ng sariling tao nila?
Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, may I respond?
Yes, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor. Nagsagawa po kami ng initial investigation dito. Hindi po natatapos at hinihingi namin ang explanation. Bukod sa explanation ni Director Kaindek, yung pong nanggaling na mga, yung pinanggalingan ng complaint, Your Honor. At hindi pa po tapos ito.
Mula pa nung September, hindi pa tapos. Nasuspenso ba siya o may anumang parusa ba kay Director Kaindek o tuluyan pa rin nangongotong?
Yung po, Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
Yung pong mga in-air na akusasyon, mga aligasyon po ito at ini-establish pa po ang katunayan kung totoo man po ito o hindi.
Sa palagay ko, nasa LTO, yung complaint ticket number 2020-0928-4247, mayroon na pong complaint to. May basehan na po kayo umaksyon. September pa po. Wala pa rin ginagawa ang ating LTO. Ganun po ba?
Your Honor, if I may, hindi po, yun nga po yung sasabi ko, pinag-explain po namin at again, po, pawang mga aligasyon po ito at sa kanyang explanation, hindi po niya ginagawa at sa nakikita po namin, sabi ko nga po, hindi pa kumpleto ang ginagawa naming investigasyon, kaya hindi pa po kami makapagbigay ng closure do sa kaso kung ito po yung mga aligasyon po ito totoo o hindi.
So, Mr. Chair, mukhang tuloy-tuloy ang ligaya sa Region 7.
Senator
At nakakaawa naman yung ating mga tauhan doon. Maraming salamat po.
Senator Marcos, may I intervene, Chair?
Yes, please.
If you want, we will call Secretary Mr. Kaindek.
Thank you so much po.
It is not my intention to divert at the moment, because the issue right now is
That's right po.
investigation of the killings that have continued on, and that's what I'd like to make. And you know me, I will not leave any stone unturned.
That's correct.
If there are any investigations ongoing, we will ask Secretary Galvante to report, and even the Anti-Graft and Corruption Council and whoever else is investigating. But as a lawyer, there are allegations and counter allegations, and I would be worried about just making a statement because we might be violating the rights of other folks. That's why I'm glad the dealers are here, because the allegations are there. In the second part of this hearing, we will be asking them. But I really prefer, quite frankly, that now that you're saying that a Galvante is coming in, I would like to have both sides appear at the next hearing. That way we would hear both sides. And I so order the Director General to schedule the next hearing and bring Secretary Galvante and all the dealers, as well as any other LTO personnel that may be involved in anomalies that mulct the public, and that they must appear here immediately at the next hearing. And I don't want long hearings. I don't want to prolong this agony. Let's try to call a hearing within the week if that is possible.
Yes, Mr. Chair. We will schedule
Thank you
one.
very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Very much, Mr. Chair. As we know, these anomalous practices only too well in the LTO
Well,
contribute to the confusion regarding motorcycles as
as you know, it's not just LTO, but in the past there have been questions about licenses, registration, even carnap vehicles are being registered.
Yes.
We will have to go through all this soup, but I'd like to focus on the matter at hand. If you will, unless Senator would like to make a statement, a preliminary statement, the chair would like to make a preliminary statement just to summarize what has happened in the past. Senator Go, are you there? Senator Bongo, please. Director General is
his monitor was turned on a while ago, Your Honor, but he might have stepped out for a little bit. He might be coming back. We'll try to confirm with this office, Mr. Chair.
In that case, I shall proceed so that we can swadali tayo. At I'm sorry about all the bureaucratic tape, but we're lawyers here. Some of us are lawyers here, and want to make sure that the right persons were properly administered their oaths, so that when sanctions have got to be administered, not only sanctions, and that should encourage everybody to tell the truth. Now, good morning, everybody. At this point in time, this investigation was prompted motu proprio by this representation, and we want to make sure that we go directly to the crux of the matter. Thousands of our people, libo-libo na ang namamatay sa mga riding in tandem. In fact, last week I showed you some videos. I think we have additional videos today, and I have not seen it myself. So if my staff will show the video, I would appreciate it very much. Pakita nyo nga yung video na latest, please, right away. Ang maganda ngayon kasi meron na tayong mga CCTV. And yet, part of this, habang inalabas yung video, ayan na. Can you explain to us what this is? Jimmy Tabura, killing, January 2. 50-year-old Mr. Tabura was shot in the face. Binaril sa mukha past 1 p.m. on Saturday in Inayawan, Cebu, while he was in Upper Inayawan in Barangay Inayawan. He died while being treated at the hospital. Police said that the Buras gunman fled the crime scene on board a motorcycle. These are things properly addressed, not only to the police department, not only to the local executives, but certainly to the LTO. We cannot just allow these things to happen. The next one is January 4. Just want to remind everyone, this is Joseph Labonera, a barangay tanod from Florida Blanca, Pampanga. Go ahead. And there's the two motorcycle gunmen shooting him several times and then turning his gun to the right to shoot another barangay tanod. He was not able to shoot them, but the barangay tanod was also scampering and he goes away. And again, there's no development on this case. I will ask the generals here later about this. I'm sure they're also umbrage because there are policemen being killed na pinapatay rin sa mga judges. January 6, Bacolod City, Negros Occidental. The victim this time is Noel Peraren. A tricycle driver was shot to death by two unidentified assailants on a motorcycle. Panay, pawang mga mahihirap. On Circumferential Road, Barangay Pahanokoy, Bacolod City. Ang biktima ay nagmamanay ng motorsiklo niya ng alas 7:30 ng umaga na siya ay sunundan ng mga assailants on Circumferential Road. When they reached an NJ store, the suspects fired at him and fled. Wala pang case disposition, and I'm now formally asking, this is just the first year, the first days of the year, General Sinas, with respect, can you please give us a follow-up investigation about this, please?
Yes. May unang case.
Thank you. I will give you a chance to explain this later on. On 7 January 2021, Biliran, Leyte, Romeo Rome Berdida, patay ang isang kagawad ng barangay, panay kagawad ng barangay, matapos balilin ng riding in tandem sa bayan ng Naval sa Biliran. Ayon sa ilang mga saksi, nakarinig lang sila ng mga magkasunod na putok ng baril at huli na nung malaman na naging target pala ang dating kagawad. January 8, araw-araw, 2021, Cebu City, Cebu. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Renato Malasarte. Pareho kilala ito ng mga kapulisan natin. Patay rin, Malasarte was killed after an identified suspect on board a motorcycle. Binarili siya as he was traversing Cabantan Street in Barangay Luz. Mukhang marami ho doon sa Cebu. Ano? January 8, 2021, Sultan Kudarat. Patrolman, pulis na naman, Mark Iris Bisin Tendero. Pinabulagta ng hindi pa nakikilalang riding in tandem suspect ang isang bagitong pulis, bagong pulis lang. Habang pauwi sa kanilang bahay, kinilala ang biktima na si Patrolman Mark Iris Bisin Tendero alas 5:30 ng hapon, alas 5:30 ng hapon, habang lula ng biktima ng kanyang minamanehong motorsiklo na Honda RS-125 nang sundan umano ng mga suspect at pagdating sa nasabing lugar ay walang habas na pinagbabaril ang biktima noon at namatay din. I'll try to be fast. January 10, Marlon Santiago, 2021, Malabon, NCR. Alas 2 ng hapon, habang ang biktima ay naglalakad sa may plata sa Barangay Tugatog, Malabon, patungo sa kanilang pinagtatrabahuhan nang biglang sumulpot sa lugar ang riding in tandem na agad na nagpaulan ng bala ng baril sa biktima saka mabilis na nagsitakas. January 11, everyday, Maguindanao, Pinton Ibrahim. Gunman on board a motorbike trailed and fired at Pinton Ibrahim, an engineering assistant sa DPWH, while the latter was driving his vehicle along Barangay Pinggiaman around 11 a.m. Monday. Witnesses said the gunman sped off toward an unknown direction following the shooting. Ayan ang kanyang larawan. January 11, 2021, Zamboanga del Sur. Dead Abul Samad Hassan Akang. Hindi na tamaan yung asawa, si Akang's wife. Akang, a businessman, was fatally shot by one of two motorcycle riding men who tailed the couple at around 5:25 p.m. Hindi na tamaan si Akang, yung asawa niya, pero si Hassan was dead on the spot. Sila ay dumadaan sa National Highway aboard a three-wheeled vehicle locally known as Bao Bao when attacked. Patay na naman. Isa. January 11, 2021, Zamboanga del Sur, Wilfrido Montuno Jose Buhat. Patay ang dating pulis na naman at kanyang kasama matapos silang pagbabalin ng mga salarin. Lulan ang motorsiklo na bumuntot sa kanila. Pauwi na sana ang mga biktima magkaangkas sa motorsiklo. Dalawa silang pinagbabaril. Nang mangyari ang pagbabaril, nagtamo ng sugat sa iba't ibang bahagi ng kanilang katawan. Ang mga biktima ng kanilang ikinamatay. Agad rin nakatakas ang mga salarin. Araw-araw ito January 12, Malabon na naman. Barangay Chairman naman ito ulit. Barangay Chairman Anthony Velasquez of Barangay Hulong Duhat, Malabon was shot dead in their compound by 4 gunmen who escaped. Ayan yung pumasok mismo sa compound ang mga motorsiklo at pinagbabaril sila. At susunod naman ay January 15 sa Quiapo, kung saan dumadaan ang Nazareno. Caloocan Police Officer na naman. Ilan na yung police? Bilangan nyo. Reynaldo Nuque Jr. As of January, General Sina, siyam na police officer na ang napapatay. As of February 15. And this is just possible. If I may proceed. Patay ang 2 lalaking kalalaya lamang sa kulungan matapos pagbabalin sa loob ng isang papasayero jeepney. Sa pang-lay ng sa Quiapo, Manila, Huwebes ng umaga. Police officer Reynaldo Nuque ang victim and Felizardo Publico. January 15, Malay-Balay. Abogado, Attorney Winston Intong. Ito, na-solve naman ito. 53 was shot by 2 motorcycle riding gunmen. Ewan ko kung na-solve ito, nakuha ba yung mga mastermind? While buying vegetables in a mini market near his home in Malay-Balay. January 15, tatlo sa isang araw. Laguna, Staff Sergeant Christian Ramos. A policeman na naman was shot dead. Sergeant Christian Ramos, who was assigned at the Regional Holding and Accounting Unit at Camp Vicente Lim, ay nakasakay sa kanyang motorsiklo when he was shot by an identified man on another motorcycle before 10 a.m. Umaga. Cabanatuan, Nueva Ecija, January 17. Babae naman ito, Julie Ramos. A 64-year-old woman was killed while a 14-year-old boy was wounded in an evening, gabi, gun attack by 2 still unidentified men here on Saturday. Ramos was tending to restore. Nagtitinda yung 64-year-old na babae sa kanyang tindahan when the motorcycle riding gunman pretended as customers, panggap na customers at siya ay pinagbabaril at siya ay namatay. Si Julie Ramos, 64 years old. January 19, 2021, Iloilo. Engineer Eva, babae na naman to. Chefe ng Quality Assurance ng DPWH Iloilo 4th District. Siyang babaeng opisyal ng DPWH at driver nito ang himalang nakaligtas sa tiyak na kamatayan matapos na tambangan at pagbabalilin ng riding in tandem at kasama rin yung kanyang driver na si Rogelio Cirilo na natepok, namatay. Dakong alas 7 ng umaga habang papasok na sa opisina, sina Bedonia at Cirilo nang biglang pagbabalilin ng kanilang pick-up na sasakyan ng 2 suspect na nagkaungkas sa motorsiklo. January 21, Cagayan de Oro. Corporal Eljon Capawa. Patay ang isang pulis sa lungsod na ito sa Cagayan de Oro matapos pagbabalilin ng di pa kilalang gunman noong Miyerkules ng gabi. Sa investigasyon ng pulisya, may nakakita umano sa 2 salarin na sakay ng motorsiklo. Agad umalis ang riding in tandem matapos paulanan ng bala si Capawa. January 21, in Antique, 2021, Vernel Mondreal, patay. Nagtamo ng tama ng bala sa ulo at katawan. Si Vernel Mondreal, 22 years old, administrative staff ng Sibalom Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office. Base sa investigasyon ng pulisya, pinagbabaril ng 2 lalaki na nakamotorsiklo ang biktima sa barangay Igdalagit ng naturang bayan. January 21, same day na naman, tatlo na yan. Calbayog Samar, Harry Rumor, ang pangalan, patay. A 67-year-old senior citizen, pinatay by still unknown assailants in Calbayog City. Harry Rumor was inside his white Toyota Fortuner parked at the market. Samantalang dalawang lalaki on board the motorcycle ay dumating. The back rider then alighted from the motorcycle and shot the victim several times. January 22, Cebu City, Cebu, Dustin Castillo, an identified motorcycle riding assailant naman, shot Castillo, 29-year-old hardware helper. Nagbabalik siya ilang beses. Castillo ay nakaupo lamang doon sa hardware, nagbabasa ng dyaryo as he waited for his time to get off work when the assailants arrived and shot him dead. January 24, Quezon Province, Brian Castillo at Arvin, dalawa sila, Arvin Basera, patay rin. Magkasunod na napastang ang dalawang pinag-iinlang tulak ng pinagbabawal na droga, makaraan paulanan ng bala ng riding in tandem sa ulat takong alas 7:50 ng umaga habang naglalakad si Castillo ng pagbabalin ng dalawang armadong lalaki na nagkaangkas sa motorsiklo at makalipas ang isang oras ay ganoon din ang nangyari kay Basera. Kaya hiwalay pa at pinatay pa rin pareho. At sinasabi ito ay mga tulak raw ng droga. January 25, 2021, Teng Sally, Ismail Salamat, dalawa sila, Mama Luba. Patay ang isang utility worker ng LGU at isang 68 anyos na lolo matapos sa pagbabalinin ng riding in tandem. Pasado alas 11 ng umaga habang nasa loob ng kanilang stall, nagtitinda ng prutas. Ang dalawang biktima sa bahagi ng public market ng pagbabalinin ng mga suspect sa sakay ng motorsiklo. Napakadugo. Yan, nakikita natin sa kwan. January 25, Cebu City, Cebu. Police Corporal Rodel Dimaangay, a former police officer, was killed when he was shot dead by men on board two motorcycles in City of Bliss, Barangay Labangon, Cebu City. The incident took place a few steps from the Labangon Police Station, tabi lang ng police station, and a stone's throw from the ancestral house of the victim. January 26, 2021, Antique, Morito Plataro, dead. Patay ang isang lalaki sa barangay Kalidad sa bayan na ito matapos siyang paulanan ng bala ng mga suspect na agad tumakas sakay ng motorsiklo dako alas 6 ng umaga. Talaga mayroong modus operandi, umaga, ang bira o kaya gabi. At baliwala ang araw, pumapatay pa rin sila. Habang pauwi sila, ang biktima ng biglang pagbabaril ng dalawang salarin. January 26, 2021, Masbate, Mark Boboy Tero, dead. Alas 2:20 ng hapon habang nakatayo sa kalsada ang biktima, malapit sa kanyang bahay sa barangay Pasyagon nang biglang sumulpot ng hindi nakikilalang mga gunmen na lulan ng hindi nakaplakang motorsiklo at agad na pinagbabaril. Nakaraan ang bumulagta, mabilis na tumakas ang mga suspect patungo sa na hindi nalalaman direksyon. Agad naman isinugod ang biktima sa kataingan District Hospital pero namatay habang nilalapatan ng lunas. January 27, Davao Oriental, Yulito Badang. Sugatan ang 56 anyos na punong barangay na naman to, matapos siya pagbabalilin ng isang riding in tandem sa barangay Kawayanan sa bayan ng Boston, Davao Oriental, Lunes ng hapon. Base sa investigasyon ng pulis, naglalakad ang biktima sa Sitio Kamad patungo sa kanyang sakahan farmer ito nang sinalubong ito ng dalawang lalaking sakay ng motorsiklo at pinagbabaril lang 3 beses. Agad na tumakas ang mga sakay ng motorsiklo na walang plate number. Yan ang sinasabi ko, pag walang plate number, dapat huli na kagad. Taguig City, Richard Paul Jordan. Patay sa pamamaril ng isang dating konsehal ng Taguig City matapos ang isang dating konsehal ng Taguig City matapos paulanan ng bala ang tatlong riding in tandem dito na sa mismong Maynila yan. Nangyari ang insidente sa labas mismo ng bahay. Wow, lahat ng bahay ng biktima si Richard Paul Jordan sa barangay Ibayo, Tipas. January 31, 2021, Laguna, Arnold Martinez. Patay. Barangay captain in Bay Town in Laguna Province was shot at patay na pinatay ng 4 na suspects riding in 2 motorcycles. The victim was leading a road clearing operation when he was attacked. February 1, Caloocan City, Luisito Villaruz, patay. Pinagbabaril hanggang sa mapatay ng riding in tandem ang isang lalaki habang nakikipag-inuman ang biktima. 9:30 ng gabi, na nakikipag-una sa kanyang barkada ng biktima nang dumating ang mga suspect na sakay ng isang kulay itim na Yamaha NMAX. Bumaba ang backrider, saka naglabas ng hindi mabatid na uri ng baril at walang sabi-sabing pinagbabaril sa katawan ang biktima na nag-result sa kanyang kamatayan. February 2, 2021, tumapak na tayo ng February, Davao del Norte, Edgar Alan Quilla. At siya ay patay ang isang barangay captain na naman ito, matapos magbabarilin ng salarin ng dulan ng motorsiklo base sa initial na investigasyon ng pulisya na okupo sa kanyang tindahan nang dumating ang salarin na nakamotorsiklo. Nagkunwari unong customer, ayan, palibago na naman mga kanyan, nagkukunwaring customer. Ang salarin at saka nito biglang binaril ang biktima sa iba't ibang bahagi ng katawan. Sugatan ng isang negosyante sa Kalibo, Aklan matapos barilin ng isang hold-upper, bandang alas 7:40, alas 7:40 ng gabi nang pasukin ng isang hindi pa nakikilala lalaki ang establishmento ng pag-aari na Eduardo Alvarez. Ayon sa investigasyon ng pulisya, natamaan sa tiyan at kanang braso ng biktima na agad dinala sa ospital, laging kritikal ang lagay, pero kalaunan ay naging stable din. Patuloy namang inaalam ng mga otoridad ang kilalan ng sariling tubakas ng motorsiklo. Ang pangalan nila si Edward Alvarez. February 3, Negros Oriental. Police Master Sergeant Yeseden Cariaga, dead. Patay ang isang pulis sa bayan na ito noong Lunes matapos siyang paulanan ng bala ng riding in tandem sa investigasyon ng Mabinay Police. Si Cariaga ay nanggaling sa bahay ng isang barangay kagawad kung saan sila ay nag-aayos ng tanong ng tao may utang sa kanya. Paglabas ng pulis sa bahay, agad siyang pinagbabaril ng gunman na nakaangkas sa motorsiklo. 5 basyo ng caliber 45 ang na-recover sa crime scene. Dead on arrival sa pulis. Quezon City, February 4. Dead, Nicanor Perez. Injured, George Daguioposo. Dead on the spot ang isang pulok leader, barangay na naman. Habang sugatan naman ang isa pa matapos silang pagbabarilin ng 4 na lalaki sakay ng 2 motorsiklo. Lumabas sa inisyal na investigasyon ng Batasan Pulis malapit sa Kongreso na nag-uusap ang 2 biktima na sa kanto ng Kalayaan B Street at Kaibigan Street ang pagbabarilin sila ng 2 riding in tandem bandang alas 10 ng gabi. Hindi bababa sa 10 basyo ng hindi patukoy na kalibre ng baril ang nakalap ng Soko sa pinangyarihan ng krimen. February 6, Nueva Ecija, 2021. Councilor Lorenzo Cahucom and Bantay Bayan member Armando Pring, the victims were on board a single motorcycle nang sila ay pinagbabaril ng mga nakasakay na suspects sa riding in tandem in Barangay Lambakin on Friday night. Police have yet to establish the motive behind the attack. February 7, 2021, Leonardo Escala and niece, Patinis, dead, injured. Leonardo Escala, Labor Union President. Ito, kamakailan lang ito. Nasyak ako. Tatapos na ng investigasyon natin last week. Leonardo Escala, Labor Union President of Manila Port Operator, International Container Services Incorporated, was shot dead on Sunday evening, February 7. According to the police report, Escala, 59, was with his niece, 4 na taong gulang, when an identified assailant shot them multiple times before speeding off aboard a scooter at around 7:20 a.m. Escala died around an hour later at the hospital. His niece, who was shot in the back, is currently undergoing medical treatment. And on February 7, 2021, Nueva Ecija, Mayor Sylvia Austria, isang di pa sumabog na fragmentation grenade ang ibinato di umano ng riding in tandem sa harap ng bahay ng mayor ng Hayen. Medyo may gusto dyan talaga, Nueva Ecija, na si Sylvia Austria. Hindi sumabog ang granada dahil hindi natanggal ang pin ito ng ihagis ng mga suspect at ang janitor ni Austria ang unang nakakita ng nasabing bomba. February 9, 2021, Cotabato City, Maguindanao. Dick Amino Abbas, dead, unidentified gunman on a motorcycle, shot and killed the barangay Kagawad in Cotabato City. A victim was buying soda at a roadside store when he was attacked at around 10 a.m. It's a total of 59 attempts, 50 dead, 50 ang patay, 59 attempts, at ang mga injured 7 and unhurt 2. Hindi pa natin sinasama dito yung mga inaagawan ng bag, inaagawan ng mga telepono. Yan lang muna ang nakalap na video. Paano yung mga hindi nakunan? Ilan kaya sila? At paano hindi namin nakalap ng staff namin? Kaya hinihiling ko kay General Sinas na pwede padala lahat yung riding in tandem records.
Yes, sir.
Natin yan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, General.
Yes, sir po.
I know you'll do a good job here because pulis na rin yan at saka mga taong karaniwan. Meron ako hindi ko sasabihin dapat gumawa. In any case, kaya natin ginawa itong motorcycle crime prevention. Hindi dahil galit tayo sa motorsiklo. Yung plaka naman napakaliit rin. Hindi naman ganun kalaki pero mas maliwanag. And I thank Director General ng LTO na si General Galvante. Nagtagal nga lang. Kaya ako medyo talagang halos 2 taon na. At makikita nyo ang 2 taon na inabot nito nang mapasa yung batas. Napasa yung batas ng March 8, 2019, approved. March 14, 2019, published in the official gazette. March 29, 2019, date of activity. IRR under the law must be completed in 3 months. June 27, 2019, must have been completed, pero May 11, 2020, actually completion of IRR. 14 months after the law was passed. June 30, 2019, date when motorcycle plates not in conformity with law must be renewed. Dahil yung mga luma, papalitan, their registration and apply for the required readable number plate pursuant to Section 19 of RA 11235. July 29, 2020, LTO started the production of motorcycle plates. July 1 to 3, 20, nagkaroon ng plant shutdown, nagkaroon ng disinfection, pero that's not an excuse. Ang importante, nakagawa na di umano ng 1,200,000 na plaka at naka-distribute na yung 800,000 na mga plaka at 400,000 ata ang nabigyan na. Sisiguruhin ko, ito yung aming pinadala ni General Galvante, 875,000 received by regions. Pinamahagi na nasa regions. At ang in transit, 400,000. Siguro mas malaki na ito ngayon. At released to dealers, 298,572. Remember, I said released to dealers. So kung malaman ng mga mayari ng motorsiklo na pagka kayo bumili ng motorsiklo within 5 days, dapat ang inyong certificate of registration na original ay ibibigay sa inyo. At kung kayo ay may binabayarang utang, dapat yon idadalhin sa Register of Deeds at tatatakan ng tinatawag na sa batas na lien, na encumbrance. No? Na yung lien na yun ay magpapatunay kung ibebenta nyo na merong utang kayo doon sa dealer. Yan ay for the protection of the dealer. At ngayon, tatanungin ko lang sila General Galvante with the permission of my colleagues. General, pareho na rin kay General Galvante. Aren't we alarmed na ang dami-daming, isang buwan pa lang ho yan, ang dami-dami ng mamatay. Ano ho ba ang game plan natin dyan para matigil na yan? Because ang bayan natin, lahat na pagbibintangan, pati presidente, pati mga police, pati mga local officials, At pati mga lawyers, umaangal, hindi naman sila exempted, pero siyempre, yung mga judges, at pati mga batas natin, pag namatay yung judge sa aksidente, mas mataas ang kanilang makukuha sa gobyerno dahil they're in the performance of their duties. Kailangan na ho ma-solve yan because lampas na ho ng the last several years, maabot na ata ang huli kong bilang ay maabot na lampas na mga 30,000 or 40,000 ang napapatay ng riding in tandem, pwede pa yung mga wounded. So, may we know what the disposition of the Chief PNP is on the matter, please?
Good morning po, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Lahat po, sir, na binanggit nyo na incident po, sir, ay na-note po namin at nakalista po yun at inimbestigahan po yun, sir, lahat ng mga pulis natin. Sa ngayon po, ongoing po lahat yung investigations. In line with that, sir, kami po on October 2020, upon the announcement of the President, ay nagsagawa po kami at nag-activate po ng Tactical Motorcycle Riding Unit, yung TMRUs po, sir. Ito po yung panagot namin dyan sa mga motorcycle. At dito po sa NCR ay very active po yan, sir. Yun yung makikita nyo ng mga pulis na 8 po yan sila in grupo na umiikot po sa bawat munisipyo po. At dito po sila ay nakatulong po sa crime prevention at nakatulong po makahuli po, sir, ng ng mga suspect. Kasama po rin nito ay bawat police station po na lalo na dito sa NCR at sa mga highly urbanized centers natin ay meron na po mga TMRUs composed of 8 motorcycles po. Iba pa rin po yung TMRU po ng highway patrol po at yung sa EDSA natin meron po tayong 100 highway patrol group personnel na paikot-ikot po dyan, sir. Ang TMRU po, sir, ay motorcycle mounted patrollers who can immediately respond to any incident, particularly those perpetrated by motorcycle riding suspect. They are equipped with mobile radios at they are trained po ng motorcycle they are trained in riding motorcycle by the highway patrol group po, sir. So far po, sir, meron na po kaming total personnel na na-train po namin dyan sa kanila na
Hello?
Yes, sir. Tingnan ko lang muna yung data namin, sir. Meron na kaming 2,000 na mga police po, sir, na train, natapos na po na-train ng motorcycle riding po ng highway patrol po, sir. Yun po, sir, ang data namin, sir. At ginagawan po namin ng paraan para po ma-prevent namin yung karagdagang insidente at kung hindi man po namin ma-prevent, at least ma-solve po namin yung cases. Kung ipag-pan nyo po, Senator, from 2016 to year 2020 po, sir, ang data po namin ng motorcycle incidents ay 19,086 incident cases recorded po, sir. Out of this, sir, we have solved a total of 9,040 po, sir, or only 48.87% lang po ang na-solve namin sa mga cases niyan, sir. 9,759 are still under investigation po, sir. Yun po yung data namin, sir, as of today, sir. Thank you po, sir.
That is a process of the PNP and the SDG.
Yes, sir.
And but they get to work on it. Palagay dyan, make sure to complete and operationalize the joint LTO and PNP operations and control center. Section 15. Joint LTO and PNP operations and control center. Kung meron tayong contraction, tiyak, makakastulong mo yan, hindi ba? I'm calling, can somebody please unmute? Unmute nyo muna yung sarili niya para hindi magkukuhan. Kung ginawa yung operation center, marami na tayong mas mabilis makakatulong sa mga kapulisan mahuli ang mga loko na yan. At pagkatapos, hindi po ba tama na dapat mag-order ang DILG, under ang PNP sa DILG, na dapat pag may nakita na walang plaka yung motorcycle, pigilin na sila. That's common sense. Ba't may dala kang plaka? May dala kang motorsiklo, walang plaka. Tama po ba yan, General Sinas?
Yes, sir. Pinapatupad po natin yan, sir, na pag wala po talagang plaka yung motorcycle, ay hinuhuli po, sir. However, yung mga normal police natin na mga police patrollers natin, sir, pag dumaan yung motorcycle at may plaka, sir, hindi naman po nila tanto kung yung bang plaka, sir, ay mali or fake. Kasi nga, almost the same, nalalaman lang po, sir, na yung plaka na ginagamit ng motorcycle sa incident ay fake kung yung nakukuha na po sa CCTV, sir. Kung ordinary police patroller ka, sir, may dumaan sa iyong motor, makita mo na walang plaka, sinisita po yun, sir. However, kung may dumaan sa sakyan, motor, may plaka, hindi po malaman ng PNP patrollers kung yung bang plaka ay fake or sa iba nakaregister, sir. Yun po ang predicament po namin, sir.
It is not a predicament, sir. Because the law says that everybody will now have color-coded plates. In fact, hindi naman ito bago. Dati nang may number-coded plate at may color-coded ang mga motorsiklo natin. Pero hindi talaga pinapairal. Again, kung gusto, maraming paraan. Kung ayaw, maraming dahilan. At ang nangyayari sa atin po ay kung walang motorcycle, walang plaka, kumpiskado yung motorsiklo. Wala siya may pakitang certificate, hindi ba kukumpiskahin yun? The assumption is that. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, sir. For the last 2 weeks po, sir, ang Highway Patrol po ay nagsagawa ng one-time na mga huli dito sa NCR. Marami na po nahuling motorcycle na ang plate po nila, sir, ay fake at saka luma at hindi na-register. Lahat po yun, sir, ay impounded po yun, sir.
Ilan po lahat yan? Kaya yung sender po siya, sino ang humuli, anong araw hinuli, at nasaan yung mga motorsiklo. At hindi pwedeng pabalik yan. Di ba, General Galvante, mayroon kayong RFID yan sa motorsiklo?
Yes, sir.
Chairman, Your Honor. Yung po ang Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, bago pong lahat, ibig ko po sanang ipatid ang aming pakikiramay sa pagpanaw na yung mahal na kapatid na si James Bong Gordon. Anyway, yung pong ginagawa natin ngayon, kasama po sa ating bagong ini-issue yung plaka, yung corresponding RFID na ito po ay kinakabit sa headlight ng motorsiklo. Puspusan po ang pag-produce natin ng plaka. Ngayon po, nabanggit nyo na, simula po nung nagkaroon ng hearing tayo hanggang ngayon, nadagdagan na po, 1.4 na po ang na-produce ng ating planta at ito po ay patuloy na pinamamahagi via the regional offices at saka sa dealership po.
General, excuse me po, I will, sasagutin ko yan sa inyo tungkol sa ginagawa nyo. Alam ko you're trying your best, no? But sa dami ng motorsiklo at yung mga hindi nabigyan ng plaka ng mga nakaraan, mga taon na hindi tayo nagbigay ng plaka, kailan po nyo matatapos yung production ng plaka?
Sa estimate po natin, Your Honor, if I may respond, doon po sa projection natin hanggang 2022, mga June 2022, aabot po sa 18 million ang kakailanganin na may produce. So, bukod po sa ginagawa natin ngayon, nagdadagdag po kami ng facility ng equipment at in fact, hihingi po kami ng tulong para makapaglagay pa kami ng ibang planta sa ibang lugar, particularly sa Mindanao, para po madagdagan yung production. Ito pong naidagdag na equipment, yung ating robot na mas malaki ang production capacity, inaantay lang po natin sa mga palad, hindi pa po makapunta yung mga inhinyero para i-install ito sa ating plate making plant. at nandito na po yung equipment, yung pong engineers na magkakabit po yung ating inaantay. Nakipag-ugnayan na rin po kami sa supplier at in fact, hinihingi po namin ng assistance ng embassy kung saan manggagaling yung engineers para mapabilis ang kanilang pagpunta rito sa Pilipinas. But hindi po kami titigil doon. Yes, Your Honor.
I just want to say po na kung babasahin ng mga legal officers nyo, ang dami dyan sa DOTR, andyan yung mga senador, yung mga undersecretary for legal, andyan sila, mayroon kayong abogado sa inyong lugar, kung babasahin nila ang batas, kasi tayo pumapalpak sa enforcement. Nakalagay po, Section 5 ng RA 11235, Motorcycle Crime Prevention Act, states that you can utilize, pwede nyo gamitin ang voluntary and labor prisoners shall be among the requirements to bid for the procurement of number plates. Lugar na walang ginagawa yan nasa Muntinlupa, katulad sa ibang bansa, gumagawa sila ng plaka. Pwede kayo maglagay sa Muntinlupa ng gawaan ng plaka at lahat ng mga tao doon, mababantayan, may mga CCTV at makukuha niya yung plaka. Yung 18 million nyo, palay ko, madadali yan. Di po ba?
Ikukonsidera po natin yun, Your Honor, at titignan natin po kung paano natin ma-enlist yung kanilang tulong para mapabilis ang pagproduksyon ng plaka po.
In fact po, nakalagay, the winning bidder can even use, if I'm not mistaken, pwede nyo bang hingin doon sa, I'm sorry, I should have asked this question. Yung bang winning bidder, di ba nila pwedeng paggamit yung labor ng Muntinlupa at bayaran nila ng tamang sahod na hindi naman ganun kalaki para mabilis yan? Ay, ibig sabihin, gamitin nyo lang yan o kaya mag-hire kayo, di ba, Secretary Lopez, ang daming taong walang trabaho ngayon. Pwede natin ilagay sa LTO o doon sa mga lugar na malalaki at kumuha tayo ng mga taong tutulong sa inyo makagawa ng plaka.
Tama.
Marami tayong magagawa. Tama po ba yan, Secretary Lopez?
Tama, Mr. Chairman. We agree and we support that suggestion.
And that is why, kung walang motorsiklong plaka, kung walang plaka yung motorsiklo, hanggang ngayon, matagal lang ginagawa. Mababawasan ang pinapatay. Alam nyo, General Sinan, ayaw ko sabihin ito eh. May suspecha ako, and I'm sorry to say this, mayor rin naman ako eh. Marami rin tayong mga tirador. Hindi ko sila sabing kayo ha, na pinapatay yung mga tutulak. Pwede naman huhulihin yan eh. Pero hindi ko kayo ina-accuse ha. Ina-anticipate ko lang, yung mga barangay, binabaril yung mga nasa tindahan, natitinda ng prutas, mga paso sa looban, at pala yung mga purok leader, mga pinapatay, mga barangay, ewan ko, yung mga abogado at mga wes. Pero sa akin, that is not acceptable in civil society in our country na tayo dapat ay may demokrasya. Pero huwag nyo na akong sagutin yan. Kuro-kuro ko lang yan. There is no basis for me to say that. But bilang naging mayor, alam ko na meron mga executive action na ginagawa ng araw. Merong monkeys versus beetles doon sa Central Luzon. Nung mayor ang nanay ko at nakikita ko yung nangyayari nung araw. I'm sure you have the history of that. But really, the way to do it is implement natin yung batas. O yung 1 million na yan, at tinapos na, 1,200,000. Ayan, no, sa Michigan, ginagawa yung plaka sa Michigan State Prison. Nakikita niyo ba yung pinapakita namin sa inyo? Pwede nyo gawin yan para makahabol tayo. Pangalawa, dapat atupagin natin yung sinabi ko, kung walang plaka, huli, kumpiskado. Ang tagalagay dyan, hindi na may babalik yun eh. Kundi ako nagkakamali sa batas natin. Lalo na pagka ginamit sa krimen, wala na yan. So, dapat matakot yung mga motorsiklo. At kung hindi naman nare-rehistro kaagad, at dito na ako papasok ng konti, pag hindi natin na-rehistro yung plaka, o nabigyan ng rehistro yung motorsiklo, at walang plaka, o di kaya naman ito na yung sinasabi natin na kaya maaaring nakakatulong sa paggamit ng mga motorsiklo na walang rehistro, ginagamit sa pagpatay ng tao. So, it is important na kayo sa LTO, yung registration process ay unsolid. Hindi pwedeng lokohin. Hindi tayo pwedeng makipagsabuatan kahit kanino. Ang isang gusto kong tanungin kay Secretary Galvante at tatanungin ko rin kay Secretary Sina, kay General Sinas kung pwede, bigay sa amin yung mga nahuhuli nyo para sa susunod na hearing sabihin ko, ito mga nahuli, walang plaka. Yan yung kami ng litrato para fair. At pupurihin pa ang HPG. Pupurihin natin para ay kita ng tao na may ginagawa tayo doon sa mga gumagawa ng kalokohan sa batas na walang plaka o na namemeke ng plaka. Dahil pagka nameke ka ng plaka at nahuli ka, karnaping yan. Automatic. Pwede mo sabihin, karnaping ka na. At yan may penalty mataas yan. So, kailangan magawa ka agad yan. So, yun muna ako kay General Sinas. I will let you go, General Sinas, because medyo alam ko, busy kayo. Wala kayo, hindi naman unless my others like to ask questions of General Sinas. I'm not totally satisfied, but I do expect something more substantial at the next hearing na gagawin natin. Na araw-araw binahuli walang plaka sa 4 na sulok ng Pilipinas. Pakiusapan natin si Secretary Anyo na utusan lahat ang mga alkalde at ang barangay na pagka may lumalakad na walang plaka, impounded ka agad yan, huli yan. At talagang mahigpit. Parang pandemic ito Parang pandemic, di ba? At pag napigil nyo, medyo mapapawi yan. Ngayon, anong bakuna dito? Ang bakuna ay si Secretary Galvante na mapalabas yung mga plaka na color-coded. Para sa ganon, susunod tayo sa batas. I cannot understand why hindi natin mapasunod sa batas. So, General Sinas, we'll excuse you even without your asking respectfully, unless you want to stay. I will let you stay so you can make some suggestions. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Salamat po, Your Honor. Nandyan po rin po, naka-monitor po yung director ng Highway Patrol Group po, sir. At yung request nyo po, directive nyo po, sir, ay ibibigay, forward po namin kung ano yung mga accomplishments po namin at kung ano yung mga nahuhuli at ilan po yung nabigyan po namin ng mga ticket, ilan po yung mga nahuli namin at na mga turo ng motorcycle, kompleto po sa video and picture, sir. Ibibigay po namin kaagad po, sir, para po ma-present nyo po, sir.
Ang huhulihin lang naman po ay yung walang plaka. Huwag natin pahirapan ang motorcycle.
Opo, sir.
Huhulihin lang po yung mga may peking plaka. Baka huli kaliwat kanan na mangyari, talagang magagalit na naman ang tao sa atin pagka ganyan. Kaya dapat ingatan nyo maigi, clearly worded, na una, starting now, nobody can ride a motorcycle or even a car without the plate, and that he must carry the registration that is original or at least an authenticated copy of the registration para walang hassle. You know, as I said the other day, natutuwa ako sa mga motorcycle riders. Why? Yung mga pangarap nila na magkaroon ng motorsiklo, may pasyal yung mga anak, makapagtrabaho na sa motorsiklo, anong ibig sabihin yan? We have democratized transportation and movement for our common people. Lahat sila, whether it's luxury, whether it's pampasyal, o whether ginagamit pang trabaho, napaka-democratic niyan. Biro niyo, makakaroon kayo ng motorsiklo at makakaikot kayo. Pero kung bibigay sa inyo, walang rehistro, kaya tinakpag ko yung butas na yan, within 5 days, bumili ka ng motorsiklo. Kahit na installment, dapat may hawak na rehistro ang bibili ng motorsiklo at may plaka. Do you agree with that, Secretary Lopez?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We agree totally.
You are aware of the protection given to yung mga mamimili natin, the Consumer Protection Act.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Chairman. In fact, pag tinanong nyo ho, meron ho kaming short report dito dun sa mga consumer complaints that we receive.
Good. I have a lot of complaints here that I receive every day. Kahit na doon sa buro ng aking kapatid, kung lalapit sa akin yung mga pagkapaniwang tao. Totoo po yan, hindi ko nakukuha yung rehistro ko. At pinapipirma kami ng kung ano-ano. At yan dapat mapawi na yan. At that is the purpose of the hearing. Hindi kami nag-hearing dito na walang mangyayari. At yan ay ang tinatawag natin unfair or unconscionable. Basahin ko ang batas para marinig ng mga nakikinig. Article 52, unfair or unconscionable sales act or practice. Hindi parehas. Ito yung Consumer Protection Law to, di ba? Or unconscionable sales act. Walang konsyensya ito mga ito. Wala talaga kwan or practice. An unfair or unconscionable sales act or practice ng isang nagbebenta ng motorsiklo or supplier in connection with a consumer transaction violates this chapter whether it occurs before, during, or after the consumer transaction. Automatic yan. Pag nabili ka, may kapalit ka. Hindi lang resibo. Meron kang CR, Certificate of Registration. At the very least, authenticated. Dapat may plaka ka. At kung ito ilalagay, dapat hindi mawawala rin ng pera ang gobyerno. Magbabayad tayo doon sa Register of Deeds para lalagyan ng Register of Deeds na ito ay may utang pa. Protection naman sa mga seller. Para pag tinakbo yung motorsiklo, hindi nila may pagbibili yun. Lalo na, magaling rin yung ginawa ni General Calvante na meron na siyang RFID. Ayoko lang sa ilaw ng motorsiklo, baka pag tinanggal yung ilaw, tapos na tayo. Dapat hindi nila alam kung saan yung RFID nakalagay. General Calvante, please take note of that. Dahil pagka inalis yung ilaw, nagpalit, ay wala na. Tatapon lang yung RFID, hahanapin doon sa isang kalye na wala na yung motorsiklo doon. Anyway, going back here. An alcohol practice shall be deemed unfair or unconscionable whenever the producer, manufacturer, distributor, supplier, or seller by taking advantage of the consumer's physical or mental infirmity. Yan. Tingnan ninyo. Inaabuso yung kakulangan sa edukasyon, yung illiterate, ignorance, lack of time, mamadali, nasasabik makakuha ng motorsiklo, sasamantalahin yun para ibigay na yung motorsiklo pero walang papel or the general conditions of the environment or surroundings induces the consumer to enter into a sales or lease transaction. Ginagawa niyo pa, may mga ahente kayo. Mura na ang motorsiklo. Kumuha na kayo. At pagkatapos yung pala, hindi siya bibigyan ng plaka. Hindi siya bibigyan ng certificate of registration. And I'll go to that later on. To enter into a sales or lease transaction grossly inimical. Secretary Lopez, bago ako kumaba dito, tatanungin ko kayo. Yung ba pinagbibiling motorsiklo na ang singil na mga dealer na 36% interest, makatarungan ba?
Mr. Chairman, meron ng mga installment packages but ang dapat to may choice ang consumer. Kung gusto niya bayaran ng cash at ayaw niyang pumasok sa installment, dapat allow. Ang report po sa amin ay madalas ay ine-encourage or halos hindi na nakakapili, ine-enforce yung bumili ka, pag gusto mo talaga bumili ka as installment. siguro ito magandang matanong din sa ating mga dealers kung talagang binibigyan nilang option yung mga consumer. Dahil kami ho, maglalabas ho kami ng department order dahil narinig namin itong complaint na to address the concern na yung installment sales only scheme. In essence, yung draft department order namin, i-hearing lang po namin ito, consultation, should provide options whether magbayad ng cash para walang interest dun sa gusto. In fact, pag cash nga dapat may discount. Pagkatapos ay may option din, yung wala namang malaking cash, may installment. Yung installment to ay wala po tayong usurious sa ngayon. Kaya ho usually ho yung 3% a month, lalo na pag mga credit cards, ganun din talaga yung charges. But if I may, one other point, Mr. Chairman. Okay. For the DTI, yung aming Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau and our regional offices received 3,060 consumer complaints relating to motorcycles. These complaints include, yung nabanggit po ninyo, yung non-release of ORCR, o kaya defective units, the refusal of motorcycle dealers to release certificate of full payment, and the practice of dealers of offering sale on installment only, even if the buyer is willing to pay the full value in cash. To date, 287 out of the 3,060 motorcycle sales-related consumer complaints have been resolved through mediation. So nagme-mediation po courtesy of yung ating pong Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau. But the bulk of complaints, yung 2,633, are on the delay in the issuance of the ORCR plate number and transfer of registration or insurance. Pero ito, hindi po namin sakop ito, kaya these have been endorsed to the LTO. So yun po ang proseso po natin pagdating po sa mga LTO concerns. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Secretary Lopez, let me commend you. Dahil titigil ito kung tulad niyo, active kayo, proactive kayo. Hindi nung, alam siya, naging proactive kayo lalo nung in-investigate na ito. Saka araw-araw may nagko-complain sa atin, di ba? So I commend you for that. But, let me just say this. Una, I'd like to get a copy of the complaint reports of everyone dito para ilalagay natin sa committee report. Dahil talagang, ang isa pang gusto ko sabihin sa inyo, bakit ayaw tumanggap ng cash? Babayaran ng tao. Para patamban ng dealer na hindi tatanggap ng cash? Ibig sabihin may pinaplanong masama yan. Na pagka kayo, magpapa-installment kayo, pag hindi na bayaran, babatakin, at kung gusto mo magbayad, hindi ba totoo? Sasabihin nila, umulit ka uli. Nakabayad ka na ng 3 taon o 2 taon. Gusto mo makuha yung motorsiklo mo, uulitin mo magbayad from day 1. Tama ba yan? Secretary Lopez?
Yeah. And hindi po, Mr. Chairman. Actually ho, talagang dapat may option si consumer.
No, sorry. Sorry, I don't believe in that option. I believe that if I want to buy, hindi naman kita niloloko, babayaran kita ng cash, babayaran kita ng cheque, confirmado, you should give me the certificate of registration. Do not even invite him to pay installment. Why will you ask him to pay for installment? That is an indication na talagang may gagawin di mabuti yung dealer. Marami akong kaibigan dealer at tinanong ko rin sila. Pero sabi lang, kung di namin gagawin yun, wala kami, patay kami sa competition. Do you confirm that, sir?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Meron talagang option naman yung installment. Pero pagka kayang magbayad ng cash, dapat i-allow yung bayad ng cash.
Yes. At sila sabi, kaya ginagawa raw yun, napipilitan sila na installment lahat because lahat ng mga kompetensya nila, ginagawa yun, talaga wala nang pupunta sa kanila. Pagka ganun, talo sila. So again, Len, this committee is moving forward on this matter, and I'm sure the staff of the Blue Ribbon is taking note, and that will be part of our recommendations, and to put penalties on that, stiffer penalties. And then, tama kayo, hindi binibigay yung ORCR, official receipt at saka certificate of registration. At, ito pa, yung mga namimili ng motorsiklo, pagka hindi ka nakabayad, ito, I have it here. Des Do Exam Incorporated, may promissory note. Yan ang binibigay nila. Secretary Lopez, yan, nakalagay yan. Pakibasa lang, please. Can you read it? Malalakayan natin ang letra.
Maliit, Mr. Chair. Ayan.
Ah.
Promissory note.
Ayan.
So for valid receipt, we jointly severally promise to pay. The company, DUSEC, order the sum of, thus made down payment and then equal successive monthly installment in pesos.
Ayan.
And
until the amount is fully paid.
Succeeding until the amount is fully paid with interest of each unpaid installment or the total overdue amount at 5% per month.
5% per month compounded every month.
Computed from their due dates.
Computed from their due dates. Mas mataas yaman sa credit card, di ba? Di ba?
Mas mataas sa credit card.
Makatarungan po ba yan?
Ay, hindi po. Mr. Chairman.
Kahit wala na tayo ng usury law, kahit sa mga kapatid natin Muslim, kahit sa ating mga talagang nagmamahal at may compassion sa tao, hindi natin dapat gawin sa kapwa-tao yan. At yan ay ginagawa, pinapipirma. Walang ORCR, promissory note lang. Ngayon, sa nabasa nyo, pag hindi makabayad, pwedeng hilahin yung motorsiklo habang naliligo yung tao sa bahay, hihilahin yung motorsiklo nito mga dealer. Tama po ba yan?
Hindi ko nabasa kompleto, Mr. Chairman, but I think that would be part of the
results.
PN. And of course, the result. Pag hindi nakabayad, hatak talaga. Kahit sa
repo man, di ba? May sining repo man. Binabayaran na, hihilahin lang yung motorsiklo. Sorry ka na lang. At under the Civil Code, that is prohibited. Under 2888 Civil Code prohibits the creditor from appropriating the things given by way or pledge, mortgage, or from disposing them. On any stipulation to the contrary is null and void. I know you're not a lawyer. I will ask the Undersecretary of DOTR. Bigay nga sa mga pangalan. You're aware of Pactum Commissariat, right?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Rainer Paul Gebra. Is this legal or illegal?
Illegal po, Mr. Chair.
Then you must do something about it right away. Then you must come out and advertise na bawal yung ginagawang ganyan, nahihilahin na lang, na walang kalaban-laban. And even in lahat ng mortgage, meron pa right of recovery na binibigyan ng taning. Kaya, tanongin kita, Attorney Yebra, Undersecretary Yebra, sa Peda Law School, sa pinakamagaling na law school sa bansa.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Ano po yan?
Kung napapalunok ako doon pag sinasabi ko yun, nag-ayupi ako eh. Huwag ka na mag-cruise. Ba't ka nag-cruise? Ay, sabihin, pagka ito ay ginawa nila, they're in total violation. At kaya nila ginagawa ito, you're a smart-looking guy, smart-looking so far, I'm gonna ask you to prove that you're smart. Tanungin kita ngayon. Ito ba ay pagka ito kinuha nila, ang lumalabas talaga, alam nyo na ang bagay na gagawin nila ay talagang panloloko at pagsasamantala sa mga namimili ng motorsiklo. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yung Pactum Commissarium po, bawal po talaga yan kasi it deprives the owner of the collateral the right to yung procedural process for foreclosure and even the right to redeem. So yun po yung pinoprotektahan ng batas.
Well spoken. Kung sa UP ka, uno ka agad na graduo. But anyway, hindi, sinasabi ko lang para maintindihan ng tao. Because kung ang tao natin ay nasa dilim, bibili nga naman sila, pinaghirapan nila mag-asawa. Pagkatapos hindi makabili, ang gagawin, ito, isang technique ito. Promissory note. Narinig yun na Secretary Lopez, narinig yun na si Attorney Yebra, at na Secretary ng DOTR, ihilahin na lang yan, walang kalaban-laban. Tama po ba yan? Ayan. Ngayon, kami rin nag-interview hinila yung motor niya in her absence and in the presence of her minor child na nakaharap. At pwede mong pakita niyo yung interview na yan? Don't stop ko. Wala po kayo mamaya.
Bumili ako ng motorsiklo noong June 13, 2020. Dahil po sa pandemic, kaya walang masakyan, kaya kumuha po ako para pang-service pang araw-araw. Pato po yung ORCR ko, photocopy lang po yung binigay. And then yung galing pong motor trade na...
Secretary Yebra, Secretary Lopez, is a copy of a CR legal?
Mr. Chair.
Is a copy of a CR legal? Na ibibigay mo doon sa nomine?
Sige, si Attorney Yebra na. Attorney Yebra.
Sino ka ba? Hindi ba si Yebra ka? Sorry, Attorney Yebra?
Secretary, Mr. Chair, if I may be allowed, please. Thank you po.
Let's go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Chair, if I... if I may, Mr. Chair, pagka-financing ho, bali yung original nandun sa nag-finance. Normally dati, bangko. Yun ang nagbibigay ng financing na ka-partner ng dealer. So you will only have a Xerox copy of the ORCR. Dahil dati nung bata ako, may installment akong ginagawa, may installment din tayong mga binili, hindi binibigay yung ORCR at sa bangko nakatago ang original OR. We only have a copy. Even sa kotse, Mr. Chairman, ganun yung procedure.
Excuse me, sir, and I will charge you attorney's fees. I will charge you attorney's fees. Under Republic Act number 4136, sir. Hindi ako nagyayabang dito. I just want to protect. Gusto ko lang maproteksyonan yung mga mahihirap natin, mga consumer. Ano po? Violation. Failure to issue to the buyer a sales report, copy of sale agreement, certificate of registration, duly authenticated by the LTO.
Correct.
So pag hindi in-authenticate ng LTO, yung buyer ay hubad sa karapatan. Kaya-kaya siyang lapastanganin. Tama po ba yun?
Tama ho, Mr. Chairman. Authenticated ho yung binibigay na kopya dun sa hindi fully paid.
Hindi nga po binibigay eh. Kaya nga umaangal yung mga tao. Wala silang kalaban-laban. Pinaghirapan nila. Bayad sila ng bayad. Ang binigay sa kanila, meron ako resibo. Pagtingin niya, ay, ganun pala ang batas. Kailangan pala authenticate. Talo ka kaagad. Hihilangan yung motor mo, talo ka na. Wala kang kalaban-laban. Talo ka sa panada. Tama po ba yan, Undersecretary? Of the OTR?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Nakalagay ko sa batas kailangan authenticated copy po for the buyer's own protection.
So I'm sure now you're going to issue a directive to all from Secretary Secretary of the OTR. Tugade, si Art Tugade, mag-i-issue siya, gagawa kayo ng kopya, papadala nyo ang DTI, papadala nyo ng LTO to implement this. Para mga tao hindi na maloloko.
Yes, Mr. Chair, we will follow the letter of the law po.
And the letter of the spirit, there must be posters that says, if you buy, kailangan authenticated. Huwag niyong babayaran kung kayo pinipilit na installment. Huwag niyong babayaran kung kayong bumili at i-report nyo sa DTI at i-report nyo sa DOTR at kailangan yung encumbrance sa kalagay. Halimbawa, meron silang photocopy. Kunyari, ito, liability rin ito. Encumbrances of motor vehicles, mortgages, attachments, and other encumbrances of motor vehicles in order to be valid against third parties must be recorded in the Bureau. LTO yun. Secretary Calvante, maybe your people are not advising you well. I will send you a copy of this. All you have to do is look at the law. Voluntary transactions, voluntary encumbrances shall likewise be properly recorded on the face of all outstanding copies of the certificates of registration of the vehicle concerned. Dapat nakalagay sa mukha ng outstanding copies of certificate of registration. Pag nabayaran na yan, bibigyan na sila ng final certificate of registration, fully paid. And I'm saying this to Secretary Lopez, I'm saying it to DOTR, and I'm saying it to General Calvante. Do you agree, sir? Gentlemen.
Yeah, Mr.
Yes, Your Honor.
We must protect the consumer. Lalo na yun. Hirap na hirap. May COVID. Hindi makapagtrabaho. Paano siya magpuhulog? In fact, dapat there should be a moratorium ng hulog sa motorsiklo. Dahil ang mga bumibili dyan talaga mga pawang tulo ang pawing araw-araw. Kung sasamantalayin pa sila, talaga namang wala tayong proteksyon na binibigay. That is the duty under the Constitution to protect the persons and their property under the Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights. You have to protect the people, their persons, from being killed in their homes from unfair searches and their property. And when you buy, pag bumili ka, kaya nga ang batas, matalino ang Pilipinas, kailangan may encumbrance na nakalagay, bibigyan ka pa rin ng authenticated certificate of registration, although nakalagay sa mukha ng authenticated certificate of registration, na encumbered yon, may encumbrance. Para hindi naman maaaring manloko, hindi rin maloloko yung dealer, hindi rin manloloko na ibang tao. Kung wala nun, di ba rin maloloko? Isa pa. And I'll go to another question. Hindi po ba totoo na pagkahinila yan? Ang gagawin, I'm sure you got this also, Secretary Lopez, pipinturahan niya, lilinisin, at ipapasa at ang sasabihin pa ay kalimitan, demo unit. Demo unit. Ibig sabihin, gawa ng demonyo. Hindi pala, demo unit. Ano po? Sometimes nakakalungkot na we're Filipinos, we are known for sharing ourselves with our other countrymen. At ito nakalagay sa batas, Section 4, representing, repossess motorcycles as demo units instead of second-hand to buyers, may violation ng law yan. At ito ngayon, itataas ko itong penalties dito lahat. Napakaro po, 500 pesos lang at not more than 10,000 pesos. Pag nag-represent sila doon, what do you think? Maybe I should say, pag ginawa niyo yan, you pay the fine of the price of the motorcycle. Pag hindi tumigil yan. What do you think, Secretary Lopez?
Yeah, ask for penalties, Mr. Chairman.
I'm not against the motorcycle dealers, but there are many, many more people. And you will recall, when I was younger, not too very long ago, I can tell you, pupunta ako sa Taiwan, nauna pa tayo dyan, nung araw, mga tiga-Taiwanese, nagpipilit pumunta dito sa Pilipinas para maging Pilipino. And I remember, lahat kayo dyan, hindi nyo nakita yan, ang lahat, ang tao doon, naka-motorsiklo, naka-scooter. Nagkaroon sila ng sarili ng production ng motorsiklo at scooter. Dito, ini-import pa natin. And I've been telling and talking with Secretary Lopez na dapat encourage natin na magkaroon tayo ng mga production ng mga mask, ng mga PPEs. Pati na rin itong motorsiklo. When are we gonna do that again? Hindi na tayo makakagwanta kung talagang umaasa. So, madaling sabi, hindi dapat pagbibili na palalabasin demo unit yung motorsiklo for repossess. Shall we proceed with the video, please, quickly?
Photocopy lang po yung binigay. And then yung galing pong motor trade na sales invoice, photocopy din po. Sinend lang po sa akin ng sila messenger. Acknowledgement receipt, tapos merong binigay yung motor trade na waiver.
Yung plaka, may plaka ba?
Wala po. Magkakaroon ka lang doon, sir, pag nakabayad ka na ng full payment po.
Bumili po ako ng motor noong August 2020. Kasi po, alam naman po natin ngayon na pandemic, mahirap po yung transportation. Bali ginagamit ko po siya sa timpapasok po ako. Tapos hanggang ngayon po, wala pa rin pong binibigay na plaka sila. Ang dahilan daw po nila kasi po, installment daw po, kaya hindi po nila agad binibigay yung original. At napagkaalaman ko po pala na dapat po pala may nakalagay sa CR na encumbered. Kasi po, medyo lugi po ako kasi pagka gusto ko po ibenta yung motor ko, wala po akong karapatan. Masakit po sa akin yun na nagbabayad naman po ako ng tama.
Bumili po ako ng motor last November 9, 2018. Yung motor ko po wala pang plaka since nung na-release siya. Ang binigay lang sa akin ay blank na papel para dun sa likod na nakalagay for registration.
Ang tawag namin sa batas yan, Mr. Undersecretary, res ipsa loquitur. What does that mean? The thing speaks for itself. They're not given place because delay ng gobyerno. They're not given certificate. We're not protecting them. Walang proteksyon ng gobyerno sa mga maliliit. Certificate of registration, mabuti. Si Secretary Lopez umaaksyon. Dapat, yung mga walang plaka, may proteksyon ng tao. Dahil baka pumatayan o mga agaw ng bag. Ibig sabihin, the sad tale of this investigation shows now we are not enforcing the law. Ang batas dapat enforce para sa kapakanan ng mga mahihirap, lalong-lalo na. Sabi nga ni President Magsaysay, those who have less in life should have more of law. And we're not doing that, are we? Even the Senate has not been doing that because it has to take an investigation. All of us should always be aware of the law para hindi na maloloko ang tao. Now, Secretary Galvante, there are 18 million motorcycles, you say. Ilan kaya doon ang walang hawak ng certificate of registration? That's a good question, if I may say so. And remember, you said ang dami-daming hindi naman. May balita ba ako? May 5 million hindi na nire-registro, wala ng plaka. Bahala na si Batman. Over the 18 million. Secretary Galvante, sir?
Yung pong 18 million na projection natin hanggang June 30, 2022 na magkakaroon, yung pong pinaghahandaan naming number ng plates na may produce. Sa ngayon po, sa aming record, may mga 7.3 ang current na registration at mga 5 million ang in the process of renewal o hindi rehistrado. Yan po ang pinagpupursigahan natin na hikayatin makapagrehistro sila para yung pong paggagamit nila ng motorsiklo, kahit po sa ngayon dahil sa hindi tayo makapag-supply pa ng lahat ng plaka, ang authority lang nilang gamitin ng motorsiklo sa lansangan, magkaroon po sila ng current registration.
I will ask therefore all the government leaders here present, Secretary Lopez, yung Undersecretary ng DOTR, yung mga tao sa LTO, ang COA, tatanungin ko kayong lahat. Ano po? Kung tayo po ay meron ginawa ninyo yung sa batas na dapat meron tayong call center or command and control center ng lahat ng motorsiklo, malalaman natin kagad na may mga tumatakbo na maaaring ginagamit yung motorsiklo. Malalaman natin kagad yan kung kailan na-rehistro yan, pwedeng tawagan ng tao yan. Ito po ba pinibili ko, rehistrado ito? Malalaman natin yan kung ito ay installment ang bayad pero walang nakalagay na encumbrance. Hindi po ba napakalaking bagay niya na dapat talaga bigyan ng urgency yung batas na yan na nagawa noong pang 2019, sir? Mga sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Now I know, what about the Department of Transportation? USEX.
Mr. Chair, tama po kayo.
So we all agree na ito dapat paintulutan agad at dapat magawa kaagad yung tinatawag nating registration ng Command and Control Center na andyan na lahat. Pag may namaril na plate number, may kulay yan, madaling hanapin. Kung nahuli, kagad, makikita kagad yung bumabaril o yung pumapatay o yung nag-i-snatch. At kung bumili ka ng motorsiklo, andun yung pangalan mo, nakalagay kung yun ay encumbered o bayad na at wala kang proteksyon. Nakalagay dyan, Registry of Motorcycles, Section 8, the LTO shall maintain a registry. Alam ko meron ganyan, pero hindi talaga, walang access ang tao dyan. Shall maintain a registry of motorcycles in a database to facilitate information retrieval for official investigation and law enforcement purposes. The registry of motorcycles shall include but not limit to the following information. Name of motorcycle owner. Motorcycle owner's license number. Motorcycle owner's address and contact details. Motorcycle identification number. Motorcycle plate number. Motorcycle's body color. Motorcycle brand. Make and the register of motorcycles. The LTO shall observe at all times Republic Act number 10173 of the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Ang ibig sabihin niya ay talagang pwede nating matulungan ng tao kung tayo ay merong registry of motorcycles. Halimbawa, hinarang siya sa checkpoint. Andiyan si General Alan ng HPG. Hinarang sa checkpoint. Parang TV. Control. This is Patrolman so-and-so. Can you check the tags of this motorcycle number kung kanino ito? Ayan. Kagad, sasagot yun. At kung yung mga humahawag na hindi nagmamayari, pwede mong impound yun unless meron siyang papel na galing sa may-ari na pinapahawak sa kanya yan. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, why are we not, tell us what your problems are. You know, we have met several times. You know, I am not gonna give up on this. Ilang beses na tayo nag-meeting on and off. Secretary Galvante. Yan na nga, gagaling na lahat sa mga suggestions sa alas, pati yung mga preso, pwede natin kunin para matapos siya. Kung gusto natin, matatapos natin lahat yan. At ang importante rito, ay meron pang problema rito na may 2 taon ba yun o 3 taon na hindi tayo nakapagbigay ng plaka? Tama po ba yun?
Tama po yun, Your Honor.
Ilang taon po exactly na hindi tayo nakagawa ng plaka?
Dahil po doon sa nangyaring kaso at disallowance, noong 2015 po hanggang early July 2016, wala pong naipamahaging plaka. Ngunit nung nagsimula po ang plate production ng 2017, nag-umpisa na po at sa ngayon, masasabi ko po na yung July 1, 2016 onwards na mga narehistrong 4-wheel vehicles, meron na pong plaka lahat.
That is for 4-wheel vehicles. We're talking
Yes,
about
Your Honor.
motorcycles.
Yung pong sa motorsiklo, inumpisahan po natin ang production, nabanggit natin ng maaga, noong July 2020 at inumpisahan po yung mga motorsiklong rehistrado ng year 2018 onwards. Yun po yung minamention namin na nakapag-produce na ang planta na sa ngayon mga 1.4 million at magpapatuloy po ito.
But my question, sir, is before that time, natatandaan nyo, 2 ang naging supplier ninyo. One that started during the time of the previous administration. Ano year yun? 2013. And then nagkaroon ng kaso sa Korte Suprema. Tapos, pasok ng bagong administrasyon, nagkaroon ng bagong kontraktor. Ano po? PPI Development Concepts and Kinnerman BV Power Plates. So magkaroon ng hiatus o gap na hindi nagagawa yung plaka. Tama po ba yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
So yun ang kailangan natin mabigyan ng plaka. Eh kung nagbayad na ng certificate of registration yun, wala siyang plaka, anong gagawin natin ngayon? Sino magbabayad ng plaka? Yung dati na ang pangalan ay PPI owned by J.H. Stoneles at ang bago, yung Trojan Computer Forms Manufacturing Corporation. Sino ang magbabayad ngayon ng na nag-produce ng plaka yan? Dahil 2 taon ng bayad o 3 taon ng bayad yan eh.
If I may, Your Honor, yung pong binabaya, yun ngayong pinoproduce na bagong plaka, yung pong current nanalong supplier.
So,
yung pong, yes, Your Honor. Yung pong nakaraan, dahil na-lift na po yung disallowance at kaso, nagpapatuloy po silang tumalima doon sa naunang kontrata, bagamat may konting pagbabago dito kasi po yung halimbawa, they're supposed to supply yung kasama sa 15 million plates, mga 1.7 million plates for motorcycle. Hindi na po pinagpatuloy yon, lalo-lalo na po nung nag-uumpisa ng talakayin itong bagong batas dahil po yung measurement ng plaka na natutugma ro sa unang kontrata mas maliit po kaysa ron sa hinahangad nitong bagong batas. Bagamat nung nasettle na po yun, nagkaroon po ng konting adjustment para magsusupply po sila ng material para sa bagong measurement na ng plaka na hinihingi ng batas. Kaya ito po ay nagpapatuloy, they are poised to deliver ito pong material para sa motorcycle plates na tumutugma na sa bagong dimension ng required plates po.
Sir, sir, excuse me. Would you like to turn your camera on para makita ko kayo? Baka hindi na si Edgar Gambante nagsasalita.
Yes, Your Honor.
Turn your camera on. I have not seen you yet. Yes, sir. You know, sir, I'd like to tell you this in fairness to you. I have heard good things about you, and as you know, I respected you a lot when we were talking. Medyo humina lang nung mabagal na ang ating implementation, but I know you have a lot of problems. But it's not an excuse. We have to deliver the service to the public. So I'm still supporting you, sir, for whatever it's worth. Para matapos natin ito, para mawala na, mabawasan yung patayan, pagnanakaw sa motorsiklo, at pangungulimbat ng mga tao sa mga maliliit na bumibili ng motorsiklo. Did you hear me, sir? Sir?
Yes, Your Honor. Narinig ko po ang inyong mga directives at tataliwa po tayo rito para masolusyonan po natin.
I didn't just give you a directive, sir. I gave you plaudits because I've heard that you're a good officer in the academy. And from what I've seen from your bearing, and when we were talking several times we met, and I going back and saying, sige, gawin nyo na, sir, gawin nyo na. Talaga na lang, nung nakita kong dumadami talaga, napapatay talaga medyo, ako ay talaga nasaktan na dahil, as you know, I hate assassinations. My father was assassinated 3 beses, pinagtanggaan ng buhay. Walang kalaban-laban. Katulad ng barangay captain na binarilo, nakamotorsiklo, close, point blank. Walang kalaban-laban. And that is why we need to get all these things running. Yan sinasabi natin na na computer center natin, command and control center natin, at mahabol natin yung mga plaka. So, gagawin po natin ngayon. Ang tingin nyo mahahabol, ang gagawa nung hindi natapos yung unang nakakuha ng kontrata o yung pangalawang nakakuha ng kontrata?
Yung pong sa command center, Your Honor, if I may respond.
Sir, sadali lang, uwi mo ng plaka.
Yung pong sa plaka, Your Honor, patuloy na po yung nabigyan po kami ng pondo para doon sa mga susunod na pangangailangang plaka for motorcycle, aside from the four-wheel plates. Kaya ito po magpapatuloy.
Tinatanong ko lang po, nagkaroon ng bakante na hindi nagagawa dahil nagkaroon nga ng kaso. Ngayon, nanguha na kayo ng bagong contractor. Gagawin ba ng bagong contractor yung mga plaka na hindi naibigay o ang gagawa ba nun yung dati?
Doon po sa kontrata nung dati, yung ipagpapatuloy po nila yung ibigay yung supply na naaayon doon sa naunang kontrata.
That's
Kaya yung
good.
sinasabi po kanina na doon sa 15 million plates na kontrata doon sa luma, mga 1.7 po ang dapat nilang ibigay. Kaya lang po, nakat na nila yung mga tugma doon sa lumang measurement, hindi na po ito applicable. Kaya 600,000 plates ang kanilang maibibigay sa amin na tutumbas na po sa bagong disenyo, bagong size. Pero ang mag-preprint po nito, itong planta na dito sa Quezon City, sa LTO.
Pero,
ngayon po, yung kakulangan...
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yung kakulangan po, tutugunan na ito doon sa binibigay na pondo sa LTO ng budget. At ito po ang ginagamit natin para dito sa ipinamamahagi na nating plaka sa ngayon.
Sana po magawa na kagad. I don't use the word sana. We have to. That is what the law mandates. And I ask and caution and admonish the DOTR that your lawmakers made this law and that it must be enforced right away. Not 3 years or 4 years after, because if you count the number of people dead, count the number of motorcycles lost or people exploited, it should be finished already by now. So, kaya nga ho, pwede niyong padagdagan yung gagawa niya sa mga preso. The utilization of voluntary and aid labor from prisoners sa 4 na sulok ng Pilipinas, pwede niyang pagawa sa Iwahi, pwede niyang pagawa sa Davao, Penal Colony, pwede niyang pagawa sa Mindoro. Lahat yan, marami yan. Alam naman ninyo yan eh. Among the requirements to bid for the procurement of the number plates under this act. And if you have a budget, you can create employment and jobs for people who have no jobs. That's my advice, sir. Kung ba marabati po ninyo.
Your Honor, isa pong kinukonsidera natin yung ganong means of production. Kaya po, nanghihingi kami ng tulong para makabili pa po kami ng equipment at ma-install po namin sa iba't ibang lugar. At aasa po kaming matutulungan kami ng Kongreso para madagdagan ang aming budget para makabili po tayo ng equipment na kakailanganin sa production ng plaka.
Paano kayo bibigyan ng pera ng gobyerno na galing sa tao kung ang tao na pagsasamantalaan at hindi nyo nagagawa yung sinasabi ng gobyerno? Yan ang mahirap eh.
Yes, Your Honor. Kaya po ipagpapatuloy namin ang kailangang improvement na dapat gawin ng ahensya.
You should have a dramatic surge in the ano naman ang gagawin nyo ngayon doon sa command and control system? Hindi naman mahirap yan eh.
Your Honor, if I may, yung pong expected completion, although ito po sa April pa, yung pong nabanggit ninyo kanina, kasama po sa features ng pag nakumpleto na po yung command and control center na yon. Bagamat sa initially po, sa ngayon, ang meron po kaming limited operation center kung saan dito tinatanggap yung mga complaints, mga panawagan tungkol sa pagtratrace ng mga na-identify na vehicle na maaring involved sa hindi tamang gawain.
Ang
But,
problema, kayo
again-
nakakaalam. Ako, hindi ko alam yung numero ninyo.
Pinagbigay alam po namin yan, pagbibigay alam po uli namin.
Dapat malaman ng publiko yan. Meron pang publiko, meron pang pulis yan na talagang separate. Para hindi naman dapat yung plaka malalaman. At saka dapat idadagdag nyo na dyan lahat ng registry. If I were you, ng lahat ng traders together with Secretary Lopez, may I suggest, Secretary Lopez, in as much as there are 18 million motorcycles, how many dealers do we have? You should register them so that you know whether they're in good order, that they follow the law. That's the only way para magkaroon tayo ng enforcement of law. That's my suggestion, sir.
Yeah. Yes, Mr. Chairman, yung active business name na registered sa atin, Mr. Chairman, 4,000 as of today.
Well, I think there's a lot more than that. And they use also agents. Ito nakalagay sa batas, oh. Dealers who do not submit sales report, copy of sales agreement, certificate of registration, or any report of any transaction involving motor vehicles to the Director of Land Transportation. That's a violation. Failure to submit to Director of LTO, dealer's report of sale, transfer, or any other transaction. General Galvante, kayo po ba ay ASEC o Director?
ASEC po, Your Honor.
Sino yung Director na pagsasabitan nito?
Ang tumatanggap po niyan, Your Honor, yung aming sa operations at ang bawat bawat region, meron po silang mga section, department, or division na tumatanggap po niyan sa regional level.
And you have a soft copy, right, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I request, therefore, in aid of legislation, that you submit to us a copy of all these transactions, so-called failure to submit the Director of LTO dealer's report of sale transfer since 2013.
We will comply, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. I would really appreciate that. And that's a lot of work for us. But that's the blue ribbon. We do an awful lot of work. And we spend the midnight oil trying to make sure that we come out so that the Senate will be seen by the public as doing its job. Ganun rin kayo, dapat nakikitang ginagawa niyo yung trabaho nyo. And I would suggest that to the DOTR as well as to the Department of Trade. Yan ang kailangan natin gawin. Now, having said that po, nakalagay rin dyan sa BIR and LTO, misrepresentation of installment sales as cash sales before the LTO. Ilan ang nawawala sa gobyerno? May I call on the BIR or COA? BIR, can you give me the names, please? They're all sitting down.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Tansico, is that you, sir?
This is Mr. Samera, sir, from BIR Cebu.
Where are you from BIR Cebu? I'm talking about the whole country. Do not call anybody from the regions.
Your Honor, may I refer you to Attorney Larry Barcelo, sir, of the National Office.
Yes, I need to have the national office. How much are we earning? How much are we earning by way of protection? This is to help you. Can you mute off somebody? Please mute off. Sino na hindi nakamit? Let me ask you, sir. How much is the expected revenue this year for all motorcycles? Not to mention four-wheel drives and others. Especially since the law says lahat it has submitted the sales report, copy of sales agreement, pati installment, lahat nakalagay dyan.
Sir, Attorney Barcelo is there from the national office.
Attorney Barcelo, I asked a question. I've been waiting for it. Do you get a copy of the reports of the installment sales so that you know whether they're paying installments? And what? Di ba pag namili kayo, babayaran na kaagad yung value-added tax nun? Tama po ba yun? If I buy a motorcycle from a dealer, kahit na installment yun, and I will ask the help of Secretary Lopez again here, and the BIR, what is the value-added tax charge on the motorcycle? 12% yan. Of what? The installment or the total value?
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is that you, Secretary Lopez?
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
My understanding is it's 12% on the value of the sales, Mr. Chairman.
That's correct.
My understanding is it's 12% on the value of the sales.
That's correct. Now, if it's the value of the sale, the government should be able to get a hefty amount of revenue so that when Secretary Galvante asks us or the DTA asks us for more representatives abroad, we would have money. I'm asking the BIR now, how much are you collecting? If you cannot answer, you can do so at the next hearing, but you have to submit to me the documents as authenticated by the BIR commissioner. And you should be able to give me all the sales of all sales dealers, not to, this is just to find out what is happening in the trade. Will the BIR shut down your speaker, please, so we can hear you? Or are you trying to confuse what you perceive is the enemy, the Senate of the Republic of the Philippines? Now, can you answer?
And repair of motorcycles and related parts and accessories. For 2020, we collected an amount of 2.1 billion. For 2019, 2.16 billion. For 2018, that's 2.2 billion. 2017, it's 1.6 plus. And 2016 is 1.2 billion, Your Honor. That's total collection for the sale, maintenance, and repair, and related parts and accessories, Your Honor.
You say that does not include accessories. It does not include accessories.
It includes accessories, Your Honor.
So you're looking at an average right now of 2 billion for 18 million motorcycles. Is that it?
Yes, Your Honor.
If I buy a motorcycle that is 100,000 pesos worth, 12% of that is 12,000. Is that correct? It's the value-added tax, correct?
Yes, yes. Yes, Your Honor. That's the VAT rate, Your Honor. Tax rate.
That's the VAT rate, right? And then there's
Yes,
also the government tax. I think about 5%. Government gross receipt tax, 5,400 at 5%. And then you have
Honor,
tax.
if it is
Sorry?
if it is a percentage tax, Your Honor, that's 3%, Your Honor.
3% for shuttle fee of the principal value. But I'm talking about the government gross receipt tax on installment revenue, 5%. Laki niyan. Mas malaki pa yung binabayad sa installment kaysa doon sa purchase price sa motorsiklo. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor, if there's an interest on the installment, Your Honor.
That's correct. You pay installment revenue at 5%, which on a basis of 100,000 peso motorcycle, you get 5,400 for a motorcycle, and you get 3,000 pesos for shuttle fee, 3% of the principal value, not to mention the fact that you have to pay for VAT, 12%. Yung shuttle fee, yun na ba yung kwan? Register of deeds? Yung encumbrance fee. And then you have documentary stamps. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, for the shuttle mortgage, there's a documentary stamp tax.
Correct.
As well as for the promissory note or the loan agreement, Your Honor, in excess of 250,000.
So really, you can submit to the committee all these taxes and give us an estimate of the last since 2013.
Yes, Your Honor, we will include 2013 because what we submitted to the committee is a collection from 2016 up to 2020, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hindi naman nila lahat ang dealer, no? Marami rin namang dealer na hindi gumagawa ng ginagawa ng iba. Napaliwanag ko sa inyo yan. But if you're angry, I don't care. We'll go after you till kingdom come. Because you're sucking the lifeblood out of the poor motorcycle people. You're impinging on the democracy or the democratizing the right of the people for movement. And the government allows you to do business. We don't care about your profit. You make a profit, but not at the expense of the people. That is what this whole investigation is all about. And I hope that's clear to the Department of Transportation. You serve the people. To the police, that is clear. So I'm even thinking now, upon consultation, pero ang laki-laki ng lamang ng babaril, walang plaka, naka-crash helmet, dark pa, tapos meron pang face mask. Ito lang mamamatay ang tao.
Sir, valid BST, but public daw na lang. Hindi na lang.
Who's that? Somebody, raise your hand if you want to speak, please. Unmute. Please mute. All right. Now, having said all that, I want to see what the government is making, and I want to see how many people buy motorcycles, and that will have to come from the LTO and from the LTO and the dealers, right? Para makuha talaga yung mga transactions niya. You know, it's nice to have our people move around, pero wag naman ganun. Wala na nga usury law. Babanabad na yung 36% per year, tapos 5% compounded pa sa installment. Kawawang-kawawa ang tao. Alright? Director, Secretary Lopez, would you like to make any comments? I know you have some comments in view. And I appreciate every time we talk, we always make progress on how we can do better. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Moving forward, if I may suggest, I hope in aid of legislation or even from the executive action from our end, I hope there can be a resolution as to giving the consumer always the option on that type of payment. In other words, hindi pwedeng installment lang, kung cash ay in-offer ng customer ay dapat allowed yon. Then second, yun nga, yung quick issuance of ORCR within 7 days from perfection of contract, and also as being discussed, the issuance of the plate within, let's say, 15 days, Mr. Chairman. Yun lang, Your Honor, ang aking suggestions po. Thank you.
Suggestions are, I don't use the word noted, are very well taken, and we will try to accommodate all those suggestions. Session is meeting is suspended for a couple of minutes. I just want to ask Secretary Galvante, and this is in pursuit of Senator Marcos's question earlier, and an expansion of that, quite frankly. Number one, sir, don't you get, or the DOTR may answer as well, don't you get these complaints from the public that they're not given their certificates of registration, that their motorcycles are being taken in violation of law? I'm sure you get complaints from the public. If the Department of Trade gets complaints, ilan yun, Secretary Lopez? 4,000?
3,060, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. Does the LTO have any complaints? How many regional offices do you have? Or rather LTO, do you have provincial or regional offices?
We have regional offices, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor. And aside from the regional office, we have district offices spread all over the Philippines, Your Honor.
Can you send us a copy of the organizational chart so we will be able to better know? Because if I were you, you know, I always make sure that the people under me during my stint as a part of the tourism, they report to me what is happening, what are the complaints of the people, what do the people require, what do the people need so that we can have better tourism. I'm sure you're a good officer from what I hear. You can ask your LTO offices, the registrars, the regional offices. Do you get that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, we do that. In fact, we reiterate that in every meetings we do with our regional directors, operations officers. But we will continue to do that and improve on them.
But I'd like to know whether they get complaints from the public about this, or is the public totally cowed? Talagang wala tayong magagawa. Talagang ganyan, bibili ka, kakayanin ka, dahil kakulang sa kuha ka pa ng abogado, talo ka. So wala, may tumutulong. Mayroon bang humihingi ng tulong sa inyo sa mga pang-aabuso, Komisar?
Yes, Your Honor. In fact, we have sent show cause order to the concerned dealers, and they are penalized if they cannot satisfactorily explain the situation, Your Honor. So, in fact, I'd like to confirm that DTI sends us regularly complaints that they've been receiving, particularly in this delay of issuance of ORCR.
That's very good. Can you submit to us those letters from DTI and as well as from your just samples of past complaints that were forwarded to your office?
We'll do that, Your Honor. Most of the complaints that we received from DTI or sent to us by DTI are through our email, Your Honor.
Let me give you some.
Yes.
Let me give you some of the. I'm sorry, mga dealers, hindi ko kayo pinag-iinitan na, pero talaga mukhang may atraso tayo eh. Sige natin, ha? Tingnan nyo. Mga tanong ito sa opisina ko, masasabi ko, yan ang hiningi ko sa inyo, ganyan. Nabili ko yung motorsiklo ko January 18 via cash at hindi installment. Nag-iisang buwan na next week. Hindi pa rin available yung registro ko. Tawag ako ng tawag, paulit-ulit lang sagot ng dealer, nasa lias nila yung documents. Wala pa din ang plaka galing LT. I will stop there. You created a system called Mirdo. Mirdo that rhymes with weirdo. It's weird. What you did was you put together the manufacturers, the assemblers, the importers, the builders, dealers, and other entities. Is that correct, sir? Why? If you have so many officers and registrars, these people are liable under the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act if they fool around. Pero itong Merdus, binigay nyo halos sa mga private businessmen. So we place the people at the mercy of private businessmen who do not seem to have a duty to protect the public. Why did you create this?
Your Honor, sa pagkakaalam ko po, isa sa hinihingi sa amin ng batasyon, ito po para ma-monitor natin yung mga stock nila, yung mga in their possession na eventually ipagbibili. Kaya po mini-maintain natin ang record niyan para ma-check po din po natin yung mga available to be sold in the market plus yung mga narehistro po na mga units na naipagbili.
Well, bakit kailangan sila? Bakit ang sabi niyo yung mga stock o nung inventory nila, yun po ba? Inventory?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hindi po ba dapat yung ibigyan niya ng kopya yung BIR dyan? Buwan-buwan. Ano ang pumasok? Ano lumabas? Ano nabenta? Kapag may benta, dapat automatic pa-follow up kung may installment, tatawagan ng Register of Deeds. Tama po ba yun?
Sa pangangailangan po ng LTO para magkaroon po ng registry ng mga units, mini-maintain po namin yung mga reports na ganyan ang gagaling dito sa mga dealers, importers, at manufacturers ng motorcycle.
Pero may proteksyon ng dealer, walang proteksyon yung tao. Walang proteksyon yung namimili ng motorsiklo. Sila may mga lawyers, sila may mga koleksyon. Hindi ko maintindihan yan. Ba't kailangan pa yan? LTO Administrative Order, AVT 2014-023, the Operations Division. Regional Office is responsible for initial review and evaluation of applications for accreditation by Mayor Dus. In other words, nilayo nyo yung tao. Pinadaan nyo sa Mayor Dus. Yung tao, dapat pag namili siya, may offices kayo, na pupuntahan niya. Pero ngayon, I don't know whether, I just want to know why you did that. If there are 4,000 dealers, as you say, all over the country, pwede rin magparehistro yan direktamente.
Yung pangangailangan po ng pagrehistro ng nabentang sasakyan, ginagawa rin po at meron pong record no ng LTO. But aside from this, yung pong record ng mga in possession of the dealers, importers, nagme-maintain din po kami ng record noon.
Tama po yun, pero hindi ko maintindihan. Bakit sila ang hawak ng function ng LTO?
Your Honor, hindi po naman sila humahawak ng function, kundi po sa pangangailangan ng LTO, rini-require po sila mag-register ng kanilang inventaryo.
Then I will ask a question one by one, sir. Pag namili ng motorsiklo sa dealer, yung dealer ang pupunta sa inyo para magparehistro o yung mayor do? O yung tao na namili?
Isa pong ino-offer, Your Honor, isa pong ino-offer na service ng dealer is yung sila na po ang magpaparehistro.
Now, let me finish there. Let me just go ahead. Kung sila ang nag-o-offer na services niyan, so, pinarehistro nila, hindi po ba totoo, narinig na natin Secretary Lopez, pag binasa ko pa ito na andito, hindi po nila ibibigay yung certificate of registration. Not even an authenticated. Di ba nyo nakita yung delikado?
Your Honor, if I may, ini-entertain po ng LTO ang tao na bumili, may-ari, na sila mismo ang magrehistro nito. Kaya hindi po sila pinagbabawalan. Bagamat na sabi ko na nga po kanina na isang ino-offer na service ito, probably para sa kanilang convenience, ang nag-o-offer ng service na sila na po ang magpaparehistro, yung dealer po na kung saan...
I want Secretary Lopez to listen to this because under your section 5.4 of the same LTO admin order, it states that the dealer shall be solely responsible or liable for any errors in the sales report. Have you gotten a dealer who is not given a certificate of registration? Mayroon na ba kayo nahuli na kanya? So hindi nila nire-register na ito installment or cash? Wala, ano? Wala. Secretary Lopez, you agree with me? Wala bang bibigyan na dealer niyan? Because niya, ang liyabi nila eh. Ang liyabi ng dealer, pagka nagbenta sila magpaparehistro, okay, pinarehistro nila. Ito na ako. Pero habang hindi nagbabayad ng buo, hahawakan nila yan. Pero ang batas, sinasabi, kailangan meron kang authenticated copy. At dapat ilalagay mo ang proteksyon ng tao na namili at proteksyon ng dealer nasa batas. Hindi hawak ng dealer yung certificate of registration mo. Ang may hawak, yung tao at ang LTO ang maglalagay na encumbrance nakalagay doon sa kanya certificate of registration base sa Register of Deeds. Yun ang dapat, di po ba? Kaya dihado yun ang bibili. Tama ba yun, Secretary Lopez?
Tama yun, Mr. Chairman. Dapat may hawak siya. Authenticated at least. Or yung original pag fully paid.
That's correct. Eh talagang, kaya ayaw nilang tumanggap ng full cash dahil ang laki talaga ng kinikita sa installment. At hindi na nila kailangan iparehistro dahil may promissory note na nagbayad sa kanila. Wala nang babayaran doon sa installment, wala nang babayaran doon sa tax. Kayo ba mga taga-BIR, hindi nyo nakikita yun? Ang lumalabas sa akin, Secretary Calvante, I will focus on this next time. The marriage system gives too much power and control to dealers in registration of motor vehicles.
With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, if I may respond. Yung una po, doon sa mayor dose na yon, ang isa pong hinihinging report dito, yung certificate of stock report, kung saan yung mga dealers nagsasubmit po nito sa LTO at yung kanilang sales report. Ito po ay isa sa mga hinihingi ng ating anti-carnapping law. Sinasagawa po ng LTO yan base po dun sa anti-carnapping law.
So because of the anti-carnapping law, ginawa nyo ganito centralized. Pero meron ba kayo nahuli mga anti-carnapping na mga motorsiklo? Nahuli nyo ba yung mga dami-dami pinapatay ng motorsiklo? Wala. Nakalagay na sa inyo, authorized representatives of accredited manufacturers, assemblers, importers shall submit stock reports to LTO Central Office Operations Division. Certificates of stock reported, certificates issued for cash unit of motor vehicle components reported to LTO. So lahat binibigay. Napakalaki ng kapangyarihan ng dealer. At walang proteksyon ang publiko dahil hindi na nalaman kung naka-register na yung kwan. So pwedeng gamitin yun para sa pumatay o magnakaw o kaya lukuhin yung dealer, yung lukuhin yung tao. Masyadong one-sided. I think it's ultra-virus on your part to do that. Pinayagan ba ng Department of Transportation niya? Ano nakalagay sa batas ng LTO? Di ba kayong bahala sa lahat ng Land Transportation Office, Land Transportation, Registration, tracking down all the motorcycles, etc., etc.? Nakalagay ba sa batas na bibigyan na lang ng invoice? Yun namili? Nakalagay ba sa batas na bibigyan na lang ng copy na hindi pa authenticated? Lahat yan, pinokontra ng batas sa mga sinay ko. Eh ba't kayo maglalagay ng merdu? You know, that's dangerous. You're skirting graft and corruption. Binibigyan nyo ng too much advantage yung ilang mga taong malalaki at kinakala natin yung maliliit. Wala akong nakikitang pakinabang ang maliliit. Ginawa ang gobyerno para pagtanggol ang maliliit. Yung namimili ng motorcycle na pinagtitiisan maghulog. Narinig yung sinabi kanina, nag-pandemic, napilitan akong bumili ng motorsiklo para makapasok ako sa trabaho. Pag hindi makapasok sa trabaho yung walang papakain sa pamilya niyan. And yet, ang proteksyon wala sa kanya, ang proteksyon nasa sa dealers. Where do you think you come from? Changing the whole objective of the law of the Land Transportation Office na yung mandate ninyo, saan galing yan? Ang nakalagay dyan, is tasked to register motor vehicles, issue the driver's licenses, etc., etc., at enforce transportation laws, rules and regulations, and adjudicate apprehension cases. Wala sa law ninyo yung gagawa kayo ng mayor do. Kung gusto nyo, gagawin namin sa batasya para may delegation of power na maayos na nalilimit yan. Napuproteksyon ng lahat. Eh kayo ang gumawa eh. Eh paano sabihin ko kung nga, nilagyan siguro kayo lahat ng mga nagmamanufacture, lahat ng kan. Ang sinasabi mo lang para ma-take up yan. But that easily done. The BIR can always conduct, they have offices like you have offices everywhere, you can count the number of motorcycles. But what is important is na ng rehistrado. Eh, talagang nakakagalit daw talaga yan. Bakit ako babayag? Sino ba itong mayor doon na ito na lalapit sa Ronga? It's really glorified lobbying. Di ba? Lahat ng mga dealers, meron siya ng representative na ako nang bala, ako nang lalakad. Lakad yan eh. That's why, yung isang mayor ng Kwan, text sa akin kanina, yung mayor ng Samar na nangingi siya ng LTO registration office sa kanyang bayan na Samar. Maaga-maga, nag-text na sa akin. Kung makita ko raw si Secretary Galvante, eh pwede ba pabuksan na yung opisina doon ng LTO? Eh, because nga, gusto nila makalapit. O, babasahin ko. Good morning, Senator Dick. May I please request when you meet ASEC Edgar Alvante of LTO to kindly push for the opening of G1, Eastern Samar LTO offices. Office is ready and been waiting for the opening. Nearest LTO office is 150 kilometers away. Kaya ang dami walang lisensya. Thank you very much po, Mayor Annalise. See? Closer is better. Do not transfer your duties to somebody else. I have not decided on that. I just say that because sa nakikita ko, often, talo talaga ang maliliit. Lumalabas, meron kayong glorified fixer. And I'm not lying. Do not allow. Ang dami na nga eh. Tandaan niyo lang sila sabi ng kababayan ko, si Ramon Magsaysay. Ibigan ko ang anak niyan. Kamag-anak ko pa, si June Magsaysay. Those who have more, those who have less in life should have more of law. Ang pinoproteksyonan natin yung maliliit. Malalaki, may abogado, may connection sila. Binabato nga, may pangalan pa ng cabinet officer, binabato ko rin eh. Ibigan ko pa yung cabinet officer na yun, kaya ayokong Pero sa akin, nakafocus ako sa pinapatay dahil wala tayo nung tinatawag natin Command and Control Center na available sa public, available sa kapulisan. Wala tayong pinapailan na batas. Kapag ang dami ko nakikita pag lumalakad ako dyan eh. Alam nyo, nag-mayor ako eh. Lahat ng pinapatupad ko, pag umikot ako, nakikita ko, kaya umiihi sa kalye, kaya walang color code, huhulihin ko yon. That's why sumusunod natin ang tao masaya, pantay-pantay. Dito, porque mahirap ka, ito, sabihin ko na sa inyo, basahin nyo yung mga sinasabi ng mga tao dyan. Yung sinasabi ko kanina. Namili sila, pero ito mga nagko-complain. 15 to 30 days yung nasa papel ng mag-process ng registration. Pero ang mismong staff ng dealer ay nagsabi na 2 to 3 months daw po bago pa nila ma-release. Karapatan ba nila yun? Wala naman tungkulin sa tao yung dealer ha. Secretary Lopez, may karapatan ba yung dealer? Ang karapatan ng tao, pag nabayaran ka, bigay mo sa kanya certificate of registration. Bakit niya sasabihin 2 to 3 months? Fixer! Oh, pwede kong pakita sa inyo yung tao, hindi na natatakot ang tao sa inyo. Sige, tuloy niyo yung video para makita. You know, I get very passionate about this because it's so unfair, unconscionable. It's despicable.
Kailangan ko po sa work ko before na as tour guide, kaya kumuha ko ng tour. Yung nung time ng pandemic po, hindi na po ako nakapagbayad noon. Starting March, then until July. Then July, may trabaho na ako doon, nagbabayad na naman ako ulit. Tapos, yun na, hinihingi na nila sa akin yung bayad, yung nung time ng pandemic na ilang months. So, kinuha nila yung motor, mami. January 18. Wala kasi ako sa bahay, ma'am. Tapos yung motor ko, iniwan ko lang sa bahay sa amin. Tapos, ang nakatira dun sa amin is yung anak ko, panganay, which is 16 years old. Tumawag yung anak sa akin na kukunin daw yung motor. Sabi ko, wag mo ibigay. Tsaka wag kang pumirma dyan kasi underage ka. Tapos yun, pinuntahan ng kapatid ko. Sabi ng kapatid ko na hindi kami pipirma dyan kasi wala yung kapatid ko na nagmamayari ng motor. That time, umalis yung kapatid ko. Tapos yung anak ko, di nila talaga tinigilan. Pinipili talaga na pirmahan ng anak ko yung papel. Kaya natakot naman yung anak ko. So pinirmahan niya, tapos kinuha nila yung motor. Sabi daw ng exam na hindi daw nila ibibigay pag hindi ako nagbibigay ng full na bayad doon.
Ano po yung papel na pinapirmahan doon sa anak ng 16 years old?
Hindi rin niya alam, ma'am. Wala kasing binigay na copy din sa amin. Sobrang sakit po. Kung pwede lang ako mag-absent sa work ko, pinuntahan ko na doon talaga si exam. Kaso, ngayon kasi sa work ko, hindi pwede muna mag-absent, ma'am. Ang pinaka-worst, yung pinipilit ba nila yung anak ko na underage, yun yung pinakamasakit. Parang na-trauma yung anak ko pag may...
Anong kaso doon? Undersecretary, DOTR, in lawyer ng LTO, anong kaso noon?
Mr. Chair, if
16 years old. Kinuha mo yung motor. Ha?
Go ahead, Mr. Chair.
Ano mga kaso nakita nyo doon sa sinabi ng tao na yun?
Mr. Chair, number one, kung yung underage yung minor po, tapos pinapirma po ng document na hindi niya alam, probably defective yung kontrata. We can even say null and void to a certain extent.
Yeah, grave coercion yun eh.
That's also criminal
yun.
grave coercion.
Dealing with a minor. Pinilit mo yung minor de edad. Abuse of minor children. Right? Tapos, kinuha yung kotse. Mr. General Alan. Alex Sagum, hindi ba pag kinuha yun, carnapping yun. Kaya nga may papel eh. May registro eh. Walang patawad. Secretary Lopez sa mga tatawin ko. Narinig ba, Secretary Lopez? Somebody unmute. Mute lang. Nakita mo yung sinasabi, ako ay nagtatrabaho bilang tour guide. Kailangan ko para makapagtrabaho dahil may pandemic. Nag-ipon ako, nagbayad ako. Eh dahil nag-pandemic, hindi na ako makabayad. 4 na buwan. Tapos hihilahin na lang yung motor mo, pipilitin yung bata. Para mga magnanakaw in the dead of night, pupunta doon sa wala yung may-ari, kukunin, pipilitin yung mga bata, taking advantage of the minority, taking advantage of the poor. Yan ang sinasabi ko, kaya galit na galit ako. I don't mind telling you, galit na galit ako. Sabi ng asawa ko, pagkagalitan na naman ako. Kalma lang. Paano kang kakalma? Kinakawawa ang tao eh. Hindi ko inaalis pag hindi nagbayad. Ayusin naman yun sa magandang usapan. Ma'am, hindi kayo nakabayad. Di ba, may papadala kayo. You failed to pay. One installment. Magbayad na po kayo kagad para hihilahin yung motor nyo. Hindi ginawa eh.
Due process.
Walang due process. Mariosep naman oh. Ayoko na magtanong sa mga dealers sa susunod na lang dahil ang daming pangalan lumalabas sa inyo. At humanda kayo sa susunod. I am not biased. I just don't want people taking advantage of other people. And I will not tolerate a government entity created by the Republic of the Philippines Congress to delegate its powers over a certain agency called Mayor Do, who doesn't give a damn. It's a glorified fixing office. Glorified fixing office yan. Kaya tayo naglalagay na establish and prescribe rules and regulations for enforcement of laws governing land transportation, including penalties for violation and deputation of appropriate law enforcement agencies. Section 13E, PO 125, Series of 1987, not deputation to private entities. My gosh, where do you think you're coming from? Okay, out of respect for Secretary Lopez, I think, sama natin sa gobyerno yan, pare-pareho tayo na sa gobyerno yan. Do you think President Duterte, pagka makausap kayo, sabihin ko yan, naku, babanatan kayo lahat yan. Tama ba yan, Mon? Di ba, Secretary Lopez?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, basta naapi ang maliliit.
Tama. I know him. We were both mayors. Talaga, pagka kaming mayor noong araw, yung mga, sabihin nyo na talagang we never tolerate even the police abusing people. At least, ginagawa ko yan. I'm known for that. And I know President Duterte will not tolerate this. If I were Secretary Tugade, who's classmate of the President, Secretary Tugade, I think is the valedictorian of the class of San Beda. Tama ba yan, mga taga San Beda, mga Bedan?
Tama po,
San Beda
Mr. Chair.
fight. Ha?
Tama po, valedictorian po siya and cum laude po. Summa cum laude po.
Tingnan mo. Yan, so respect our people. Ano mo, baka hindi nakakaintindi yung nagpapadala na kung dito. Dealers sa pinupuntirya dahil sila kayong ginawang may cross. Weirdos. Sila talagang may hawak doon sa may-ari nung na nagbabayad. Sabi rin ng LTO. Sinasabi rin natin ang DOTR. Ako yung mga troll ninyo, akala nyo, papatulang ko yan. Yan rin yung ginawa ninyo, nasabi, doble plaka. Eh, tingnan nyo yung plaka. Kung may plaka na hindi naman ganyan kalaki, sinabi na ng mission nila General Sinas na gustong-gusto nila dahil mahuhuli. Eh, lahat yung ginawa niya, I'm sure ginawa ninyo yan. Ayan o, ayan ang plaka o. Sige. Oh. May kulay, may lahat. Oh, ayan. Oh, sa gabi nakikita. Oh. You think I'm a fool? You are the fools. All right. I think I would like to ask the LTO to submit to us all the things that I asked, all the list ng mga kino-complain sa inyo, at saka yung registration ninyo lahat. Gusto ko makita yan. Kita ko sa committee. At makita natin talaga at sino-sino. Ilan ang mga na-parehistro ng mga dealers ninyo? Pupuntirin ko yung dealer because kayo may hawak. Kayo may hawak sa bulsa ng mga tao. Hindi naman ako umaangal sa dealer eh. Ang nanay ko na araw, dealer ng rakas. Dealer rin kami ng mga ibang kwan ng negosyo pero hindi namin pipisilin yung tao. I'm sorry if you feel offended. Ang pangarap ko, tumigil na ito para gumanda na ang buhay ng mga Pilipino. Napakaganda na ang tao may sasakyan. Parang napakalaking accomplishment na nakabili ng motorsiklo. Yung isang tao nagtatrabaho na hindi na siya mamamasahe. He has freedom of democratizing movement. Can you understand that? You know, you dealers, yan ang binibigyan nyo sa tao. Democratizing movement. You don't have to take advantage. And the more you're kind to them, the more people will buy from you. But if you abuse them, don't ever think you can get away with it. I have a hearing, I have a session coming up, and I have to prepare for defending the law on judiciary marshals. So I will suspend this. Secretary General, Director General, when is the next best time to conduct the hearing? Within the week, please. I don't believe in wasting our time.
Yes, sir.
Maybe Thursday or Friday, if that's possible.
We're looking for a possible free schedule because you have another hearing on Friday. So we're looking at the earliest possible date. Your Honor.
What time is the hearing on Friday?
Your hearing is on Justice Committee, sir. Justice Committee, Your Honor.
Which one? Which law? Citizenship lang yan. I can have a hearing in the morning and a hearing in the afternoon. We work hard around here. We don't waste time.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. We'll look for a room so that we can schedule one. Yes, Your Honor. Earliest possible.
Okay. I'm sorry, Rudy. I know I'm not leaning on you. I've always leaned on you anyway. But ladies and gentlemen, with all due respect to you, you get my dander up when I see there really is talagang kawawang-kawawa yung tao. Eh, ano ba ngayon? Politika lang yan. Akala nyo ba, nabubuhay ako sa politika, you can have it. I'm not going to live in a country that is oppressed. All right? So the session is suspended until Friday in the afternoon with my text. Rudy,
Your Honor, we will look for the room and inform them post-state, Your Honor.
Inform them forthrightly.
Yes, sir.
Please understand my passion here. And I thank Secretary Lopez. I thank General Sinas. I thank General Alan Tagum. We need professionals in this department. And Secretary Galvante, I know you're a good man. Kindly wield, the power of justice in LTO. The BIR, thank you. Please be sure that you check every nook and cranny where people are abused. And I will ask Secretary Sinas to ask, and I will write a letter to Secretary Anyo that a campaign on people without plate numbers all over the country is waged every day. So we can stop the killings. I would ask the DOJ to personally search the people who were killed so that justice can be dispensed. After all, you have a nationwide system of prosecutors and police. You cannot live in a country where there is no justice. We cannot run to the proper authorities and be confident na tutulungan ka ng mga tao. Maraming salamat po sa inyo at good afternoon. Session is suspended until the notice is given to you, preferably on Friday afternoon at about 1 o'clock. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies. Session is suspended.
Your Honor.